and gentlemen, and if you are like me on the East Coast of the United States, good morning. Welcome back to the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk everything Steelers, Penguins, Pirates, and for one final day, men's Olympic ice hockey. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am your host, Brady Vini, and the past week and a half or so of exhilarating game after exhilarating game has led us to this moment, this one final star-studded matchup. Two teams, two brotherhoods, two countries that despise each other will do battle once again, and it will be for the third time in a little over a calendar year in what has quickly become one of the greatest rivalries in modern day sports. In case you need any further context on what I am talking about, of course, I am referring to the United States versus Canada in men's ice hockey. Today, they will etch another chapter in their long and decorated history by playing what I believe will be one of the most watched hockey games of all time. And that's saying something because it's happening in the morning. This game is that huge that everyone, whether you're over in Italy, across the other side of the planet from me in China or Japan, whether you're East Coast of the United States, whether you're on the West Coast of the United States and it's 5 a.m. right now, this game is that big and it is worth getting up and watching. The winner of today's game, not only will they spoil in victory and gain bragging rights, but they will also, this is the big reason why I think this is the biggest hockey game of all time, they will have shiny 1-pound gold medals placed around their necks today. The hockey world got its wish in getting this matchup, and I can think of no better way, honestly, to end these Olympics than with these two formidable foes going to war on a sheet of ice in Italy once more. But before we drop the puck in this one, how did these two teams get here? We're going to get a little bit into some pregame notes before puck drop goes down here within the next 15 minutes or so. On your way in, by the way, if you are new here to the channel, please, on your way in, come in, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so that you never miss a thing here on the channel. Again, like, share, leave a comment in the comment section. Your thoughts, opinions, expectations for today's matchup. Please get those in the comment section right now. Off the bat, my good buddy Cam, what's going on, Cam? Good morning. Let's go USA. We need it, Cam. We need it bad. In a bad way. No Sid, too. Spoil ahead to the lineups. No Sidney Crosby today for Canada. That makes my rooting interest for the United States against Canada that much higher. Hopefully Sid is going to be all right once NHL hockey returns here, and he'll be good to go for the Penguins. So appreciate the comment, Cam. All of you in here right now and who come in throughout the live stream today, please get your thoughts, questions, opinions, reactions to the game in the comment section live with myself. Back to the pregame notes here. How did these two teams get to this point? I guess we'll start with the Canadians here fielding one of the most loaded hockey rosters, I would say, that we have ever seen. Team Canada, they came into these Olympics co-favorites to win the whole tournament with the United States. Those odds reflected on the ice in the preliminary rounds as Canada, they just steamrolled every single opponent that they faced. They suffocated Czechia in their first game 5-0. They had a dominant performance once again against Switzerland 5-1. And then they wrapped up the prelim round by beating the brakes off of France 10-2. They win Group A in a runaway. And for as dominant as they were in the preliminary round, Canada, over the previous two games in this, win or go home format now, they have shown some flaws in their work. They rematched with Czechia in the quarterfinals, and they nearly lost in what would have been a monumental upset. The Czechs, they played them close all game long. They even took a mid-third period lead, but the depth of Canada bailed them out. They got a tying goal late, and then the winning goal from Mitch Marner in overtime. That win did come at a cost, though, as their captain, Sidney Crosby. He suffered a lower body injury, and we have the news on Crosby that I just mentioned a moment ago. Came out a little over an hour ago. Sid out, will not play in this gold medal match. That most likely at Sid's age, 38 years old. I mean, unless he comes back and Team Canada wants him at age 42, that most likely brings a very damper end to his Olympic career. So that is very, very unfortunate there for Sid. Also, I guess looking on the bright side here for Sid, Penguins fan perspective right here. I guess he won't be at any risk of injuring his knee further over there in Italy. It'll be easier to root against Canada this time, and hopefully he won't be missing too much time when he gets back in a Penguins uniform. Back to Canada, though, their semifinal game was against Finland 2 days ago, and again, they showed issues. In the second period, Finland ended up having a 2-0 lead. They scored a shorthanded goal, looking like they were well in control of the game. And then, tell me if you've heard this story before, Canada's depth and star power, and they awoke. And maybe with a little bit of help from officials, they were able to complete the comeback with a 3-2 win. On the other side of this equation, the United States, their path to this gold medal match was vice versa to that of Canada. For being honest, at the beginning of the tournament, the U.S., I felt they stumbled out of the gates a little bit. At the beginning of the tournament, they had their first game against Latvia. I felt the United States needed to shake off some jet lag, rust, whatever you want to call it, and it felt closer than what the final 5-1 score indicated. Same thing pretty much happened against Denmark. The final score of that game was 6-3. Didn't feel like the U.S. played a complete game in that one either. Finally, in the last preliminary round game against Germany, they looked like the dominant United States team that they should be on paper, taking down Germany 5-1. Team USA, since then, they have built off of that momentum they created at the end of the preliminary round. They beat Sweden in overtime, I believe 2-1. In the quarterfinals game, they just dominated Sweden for 58 minutes of the game. Sweden tied it, but felt like the U.S. was in a good spot to win things in overtime, and they did. And then the semis, Slovakia, their Cinderella run came to a thudding halt. I mean, it was bug meat windshield, 6-2 victory for the United States in that one. All in all, it felt like these two teams are comparable in the sense that they played 3 games in which they looked exactly how we expected, favorites for the tournament, just dominant in every single aspect of the game. And then there were 2 games with a little bit of mixed results where they showed a little bit of flaws and errors in their ways. So what 2 teams we're going to get today, what side of the coin we're going to get with these teams, we'll find out here soon enough. I mentioned in the open that these 2 teams, they do have a long history. They're going to write another chapter here today. This will be the 10th matchup between these 2 teams when featuring NHL players in the Olympics. Right now, in that 9-game history, you have Canada with a 7-2 lead in the all-time series with NHL players. This will also be today the 3rd time that Canada and the U.S. meet with the gold medal on the line. Of course, Canada winning the previous 2 matchups in 2002, and I think everybody here remembers the probably greatest gold medal game of all time, the 2010 golden goal scored by Sidney Crosby. So Canada up 2-0 in gold medal matches as well. Even though Canada does have the upper hand in this matchup currently, the U.S., I believe they are just the hungrier team, and they need to win that elusive gold medal. Canada, they don't have to think back all that far to remember their last gold medal in hockey. Besides 2010, they also won the following Olympics in 2014. That was the last time, actually, before this year, that NHL players played in these Olympics. As for the Americans, we go all the way back to the game and moment that put USA hockey on the map to see when this team last won gold. Of course, I am referring to the 1980 Olympic miracle team that defeated the juggernaut Soviet Union on the way to Olympic gold. By the way, if you are any bit superstitious, kind of like I am a little bit, how about this? 46 years ago to the day today, February 22nd, 1980, that was the game in which the U.S. won gold over Finland after beating the Soviet Union. So 46 years ago to the day the U.S. won their last gold. Hopefully 46 years later, that streak of missing gold ends for the United States. Lastly, here, if you want to keep things in a recency biased perspective, we can count these teams on an even playing field. I believe back at the Four Nations face-off last year, the U.S. they defeated Canada 4-2 in their first matchup of the tournament, but then Canada responded with a 3-2 OT victory in the finals. With that in mind, I don't know about the rest of you. I count this recent matchup of this current generation of NHL players. We're tied up 1-1 apiece, and we need the tiebreaker right now. So with that, that just about wraps up the pregame festivities here, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the main event to begin here in a few minutes. Last minute stuff here. The lineups for both teams are out, and there are no changes to either team's lineups as we head into this game from their semifinal games. For the United States, you have Jack Eichel centering the Tkachuk brothers. That's been a line all tournament long. Same thing with the second line, Austin Matthews, Jake Gensel, Matt Boldy. Again, here for the second game in a row, you have Dylan Larkin with Jack Hughes and Tage Thompson. That might be my favorite line. Tons of speed and size and skill on that one line right there. JT Miller, Brock Nelson, Vincent Trocheck, the fourth line, Clayton Keller, the extra forward for the United States. Their defense has remained the same all tournament long. It will stay the same for this gold medal game. Quinn Hughes with Charlie McAvoy, Jacob Slavin with Brock Faber, Zach Werenski with Jake Sanderson, Noah Hannafin, the seventh D-man, and the man that has been nails between the pipes for the United States up to this point, Connor Hellebuck. He will start. Jake Ottinger, who has not seen a single bit of ice time or a shot in this tournament. He will be the backup. For Canada, again, no Sidney Crosby. He came into today as a game time decision, according to John Cooper. There were even reports out there that Sid was going to be a 70% chance of being in the lineup instead of out. Clearly, something changed over the past 24 hours. He tried everything, according to NHL insider Elliot Friedman, to play in this game. Ultimately, he felt he couldn't be enough of a factor. Canada needed all 13 forwards, and Crosby didn't want to go if he couldn't be effective enough for the team to win. So that is from Elliot Friedman. Canada's lineup now in the interim, you have McDavid with Celebrini and McKinnon, an absolutely star-studded and powerful line right there. Mitch Marner with Nick Suzuki and Mark Stone. The Rat line, Brad Marchand with Sam Bennett and Tom Wilson. Their third line, Brandon Hagel, Bo Horvat, Seth Jarvis. The fourth line, they have Sam Reinhart right now as the 13th forward, and that's really saying something if he's the 13th forward. Their defense, Devon Tays, Kel McCarr, Thomas Harley, Colton Parayko, Travis Sanheim, and Drew Doughty. Shea Theodore from the Vegas Golden Knights is the seventh D-man. No Josh Morrissey for Canada. He was injured earlier in the tournament. And starting for Canada, it will be Jordan Binnington, the Stanley Cup winning goaltender for the St. Louis Blues, who in the NHL season, he has been a rough look, but when he puts on that Team Canada sweater, for some reason, he turns into prime Carey Price. So, like that, there's the lineups for today. Also, for Team Canada here, one more thing on them. They will have a few members that could join the IIHF's triple gold glove should they win Olympic gold here today. Nate McKinnon, Brad Marchand, Mark Stone, Sam Reinhart. They won World Junior gold, and they won World Cup of Hockey gold. Now they need Olympic gold to complete the trio right there. Excited to get this one going. You have 27 different NHL teams being represented in this game here today. You have tons of head-to-head matchups of current teammates as well. The Carolina Hurricanes, they will see Seth Jarvis go against Jacob Slavin. The Colorado Avalanche, they will see Nate McKinnon, Kel McCarr, and Devon Taves go against Brock Nelson for the United States. Thomas Harley of Canada and Jake Ottinger of USA will represent the Dallas Stars. Brad Marchand, Sam Bennett, Sam Reinhart will face Matthew Tkachuk, of course, of the Florida Panthers. Brandon Hagel and Jake Guentzel will meet up between the Tampa Bay Lightning teammates right there. And then the Vegas Golden Knights, 5 players in this game. Mark Stone, Mitch Marner, Shea Theodore. They will represent Canada. Jack Eichel and Noah Hannafin for the United States. And here comes the USA about to take the ice. The officials for today's game, maybe a little bit more down the middle than maybe some of the semifinal games. The referees, Gord Dwyer from Canada, Chris Rooney from the USA, the linesman, Scott Cherry from Canada, and Oni Hatuamaki from Finland. So there it is. Going to take a real quick 30-second break, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back here in 1 moment. Pre-game notes are now behind us. Puck drop between Canada and the United States coming up next. Please stay where you are. If I can get it here. Uh-oh. Hang on. My mouse died? Hang on 1 second. All right, there we go. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing, testing. I think we're good now. Hopefully. My mouse died and my screen froze there for a second. Now we're back up and running. So instead of taking that break, we're going to hop right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, opening face-off coming up. Hellebuck v. Binnington between the pipes. Hellebuck, I believe, averaging 1 goal, a little over that, given up per game. Binnington, about the same. There's a look at the gold medal puck about to be dropped out at center ice. Looks like Nate McKinnon is going to take the opening draw here against Jack Eichel. The matchup that everybody has been dreaming of all tournament long is now a reality. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Last comment here from my dad. Play smart, play clean, play a physical game. Indeed, that's USA Hockey. Puck has dropped, and we are underway, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are watching this game from around the world. Welcome here. Shot on goal immediately from the United States. Went wide of the net. That shot came from the point. Looked like it was Jacob Slavin who let it go. Hit against the boards. Connor McDavid on Jack Eichel. Fished out by Eichel in front. Matthew Tkachuk to Eichel. A shot and save made by Binnington. Early pressure here from the U.S. Boldy. Now to Guentzel, who wraps it around behind the net. Quinn Hughes centering pass. Another shot attempt goes just wide from Austin Matthews. The U.S. cycling lines now. Boldy throwing one across the crease to Matthews. Couldn't get a clean handle on it. Boldy now throws it to the front. Guentzel with it. Spinning out. Guentzel looking for Boldy again. Just wide. Boldy will send it behind the net up high to McAvoy. Now from the center of the blue line. Shot from Matthews. Never made it on net. It was blocked. Up to Celebrini. Can he get it out of his own zone? He'll send it back to Harley. And now Canada with their first clear possession of the hockey game. Good start off the hop for the United States. Didn't result in a goal, but you got to throw everything on net here on Binnington. Thrown to the net here by Canada. Went through Hellebuck's crease and wide. Devontae throws one to the net. Another shot attempt from Sam Bennett. And it's scooped up off the ice by Connor Hellebuck. First whistle of the hockey game, a little over a minute and a half in. Good start for the boys in white and blue. The U.S. wearing their road whites. Canada in their home red jerseys with the black maple leaf on the chest. Face off. Looks like it was won by Canada in the offensive zone, but it goes all the way back down to their end of the ice. Puck sent up here to center by Werenski. Oh, Tage Thompson trying to make a move around a defenseman there for Canada. Nearly completed it. But now Canada back in the U.S. zone from the corner. Seth Jarvis brings it out. Throw to the front. Save made by Connor Hellebuck. Shot came from Bo Horvat, and now we're going to have some rough stuff. Our first post-whistle scuffle of the day. Seth Jarvis, Bo Horvat in the mix for Canada. It's like Jake Sanderson, Brock Nelson for the United States, the featured combatants. Great job by Zach Werenski. A 2-on-1 situation down low, was able to get in front of the pass, and great back check by Brock Nelson. He was able to prevent that centering pass from reaching Horvat, and wasn't a shot. Just a good play by Nelson. Puck came back in on his own goaltender, but Hellebuck was ready. Face off to the right of Hellebuck, won by the United States. Slavin will get the aerial clear all the way back down to Canada's territory. Devon Toews plays it down there. Pass now for Celebrini, back to Toews. Drop here, Nick Suzuki. He'll dump it behind the net. Sent along by Slavin up the boards. There's Eichel. And now Eichel over the blue line with it. Trying a spinorama pass return for Matthew Tkachuk. Couldn't connect. It comes back out to center. Slavin dumps it back in. Makar back to play it. And the U.S. changing here as is Canada. Will slow it down. Makar to his Avalanche teammate Toews. Now here comes McKinnon. Dumps it in. Chasing after it, McDavid. Played off the boards by Hughes to McAvoy. Gensel. His pass for Matthews intercepted by the 19-year-old Celebrini, who has been the star for Canada in these Olympics. Now Celebrini trying to hit a streaking McKinnon heading towards the net. Couldn't do it. A slap shot attempt from the point. Fanned on by Parayko. And the U.S. trying to break the other way. In the Canada zone now. They had it deep for a moment. Connor McDavid plays it out now. McDavid. Centering pass. Here's McKinnon in. Dropper. Harley. Shot attempt from Celebrini. It's under the pad. And whistled dead by Connor Hellebuck. After the early test, the U.S. threw Canada's way. Now it is Canada in the past few minutes delivering a counter punch. And Hellebuck been strong to this point. Excellent looks for this top line of Canada. Arguably, 3 of the top 5 players walking the planet right now with McDavid, McKinnon, and Celebrini. They have had 2 dangerous looks, and we're not even 4 minutes into the hockey game. Face-off in the defensive zone, won by the United States. Slavin behind his own net, breaking it up ice. Pass for Brock Faber. Faber trying to chip it along here to JT Miller. Now Miller trying to get it deeper, but it squirts back out to center. There's Sanderson. Brock Nelson. Now JT Miller pinned up against the boards in the offensive zone by Sanheim. Puck loose. Knocked down deeper by the defense. Binnington plays it along to Theodore. Up the boards now. Sending it back down deep with Sanderson. Stepping up, keeping the play alive. Faber. From the corner, Canada trying to clear the zone again, and now they'll finally get it out. 2-on-2 the other way. Here comes Suzuki. Suzuki dropping it. Stone a shot. Glove save made by Connor Hellebuck. Saw that one all the way, able to snatch it out of the air. Another look again here. At the beginning of this game, the Tkachuk brothers delivering a Bash Brothers style hit on Colton Parayko to begin the hockey game. Physical and highly emotional and heated. This game is going to be from opening puck drop to final whistle. Much animosity built up between these two teams going back a little over a year ago at the Four Nations face-off. Each of these teams exchanging wins in that tournament. The tiebreaker, this game right now, face-off, was won by Sam Bennett, but it's the U.S. taking it and dumping it in. Keller on the dump in. Tage Thompson pursues. Now Keller delivers a hit on Tom Wilson. Looks like it's played up here by McCart. Devon Toews, he'll dump it in. Connor Hellebuck stopped it a little bit, but puck almost went all the way to Bennett. Now here's Tom Wilson spinning one towards the net and wide. Stepping down from the point, Makar. Putting on the brakes. Behind the net again, Marchand chips it away from, oh my goodness, Slavin. And looks like that was Brock Faber or Quinn Hughes, not sure who, just met Tom Wilson in a big hit. That's what Wilson's going to do. Deliver massive shots like that. Wasn't sure if it was Hughes or maybe Zach Werenski or Brock Faber who took that hit. Might have been Charlie McAvoy. I don't know. McAvoy and Hughes on the ice now. McAvoy to Matthew Tkachuk. Spins one out to center off the skates of his brother Brady. Brandon Hagel sidesteps a check from Brady Tkachuk. Tons of hatred between Hagel and the Tkachuk brothers, especially Matthew, who plays for Florida. Hagel of the Tampa Bay Lightning, one of the best rivalries between teams in the NHL currently. An icing there a moment ago from Canada. Indeed, that hit was on none of the defensemen for the United States. That was on Dylan Larkin that Wilson laid that hit. Face off to the right of Binnington. Horvat and Matthews on the draw. It's won by Horvat. And a flick out to center by Parayko. Hagel on the forecheck, and it's going to be icing once again. McAvoy beating Hagel back to the puck. There's a look at Mike Sullivan. No inexperience of winning for either of these head coaches in this game. John Cooper of the Tampa Bay Lightning, two-time Stanley Cup champion. Mike Sullivan for Team USA, a two-time Cup winner as well. Puck up here at the red line, dumped in by Matt Boldy. Back to play it. Makar to his D partner, Devon Taves, and behind the play, Makar delivering a cold shoulder to Jake Gensel. Looks like Canada now going to try to get overly physical. Boldy trying to chip it around. Devon Taves, he does. Boldy in! Backhander, he scores! Matt Boldy, what a goal! 1-0 USA! Oh my goodness, Matt Boldy, are you kidding me? Do it yourself. What a goal to start the game. The breakout from the U.S. Boldy from the red line in. A little chip in between both defensemen, Taves and Makar. And Boldy powering through. Catches up. Forehand. Backhand. Slides it by the right pad of Jordan Binnington. And the U.S. 1-0 on an elite goal from Boldy. Exactly 6 minutes into the hockey game. And the United States takes a 1-0 lead. Now a quick up here as play resumes. Eichel to Brady Tkachuk. Pinned up against the boards by Doughty. Behind the net, Matthew. Trying to swing it back up high to Eichel. Picked off. And here comes McDavid the other way with speed. Puts on the brakes now. McDavid wearing the C in place of Crosby. Thrown to the front from the corner by Sanheim. Knocked away. Up high. Down low. Doughty. Now McKinnon centering pass for Sanheim. He's all tied up. Poked to the corner by Matthew Tkachuk. Tkachuk now will get it out of the zone. Eichel, a hard hit on Doughty, who plays it across the ice to Sanheim and dumped in again. Hellebuck out to play it. Hannafin up ice. Looks like it was not tipped along by whoever came on for the United States. And it's going to be an icing here. Turns out off that early flurry of offense for the United States, they did not register a shot. So it is the first shot of the game for the United States that beats Jordan Binnington. What a goal. They keep showing replays of it for Matt Boldy. Here we go. Wow. Might be the prettiest goal of the hockey game you see, the way that this one is getting mucked up between these two teams. Canada on the attack again. Thrown to the net here by Mitch Marner. It went off of a skate and popped back out. Now JT Miller will dump it in. The U.S. fourth line going to work now. Nelson on the forecheck. Goes by Vinny Trocheck. Dumped down deeper by the U.S. defense. Parayko in the corner. Plays it up here. Looks like that's Stone. Dumped in by Suzuki. Back to chase after it. Noah Hannafin. Now to Werenski in the U.S. breaking out. Werenski spinning back in his own zone. Waiting for an option to open up. Up here to Vinny Trocheck. Or, excuse me, that was Jack Hughes. He couldn't dump it in. Now Tage Thompson. Brad Marchand got away from him for a second, but the speed of Jack Hughes picks up the puck. Charlie McAvoy with it. Pass here. Dump in by Thompson, cross corner. Back to get it. Marchand trying to put on the dancing shoes with Jack Hughes. Now broken up the ice here by McCarr. Turnover to the U.S. McAvoy with it. In his own zone, waiting for options. Now Quinn Hughes off the bench. Here comes Matthews, Captain America with it. Matthews trying to throw one to the front of the net. Wouldn't go. Gensel up high. Drive from McAvoy. Tipped on the way. But it's captured between the right arm and armpit of Jordan Binnington. Might have been Boldy again who got a tip on that puck. And now our first, I think, half break of the game is coming up here where they do this picture-in-picture commercial break. What a start to this hockey game. It was the U.S. putting the pressure on in the first, I'd say, minute and a half of the game. Since then, counterpunch from Canada. Connor Hellebuck standing tall in between the pipes. And then, of course, they're going to have this Matt Boldy goal replay on loop. Again, just a little flick to get it over the sticks of Devon Taves and Kel McCarr. Boldy outmuscles Taves in the race and then goes forehand, backhand, slides it right by the right pad of Jordan Binnington. We saw a goal similar to that in the U.S.'s semifinals win over Slovakia. It was late in the game, and you had Brady Tkachuk, he had a breakaway more clearer than that Boldy opportunity where he slid it past the right pad. Good start for Boldy. 62 points this year for the Minnesota Wild. An easy lock for Team USA's roster. Has been kind of quiet throughout the tournament up to this point, but hey, way to make noise at the right time here. To the comment section real quick. $5 contribution from SCSR Dad. Appreciate that. Goal USA. More of that, hopefully, to come here throughout the rest of this hockey game for the United States. Face-off is going to be to the left of Jordan Binnington's net here. Matthews on the draw for the United States against Bennett for Canada. One to the boards, Boldy there. Trying to fend off McCarr. Trying to get it back up high to Quinn Hughes. Couldn't do it. Marchand trying to break it the other way. Now McCarr dumps it in for Canada. Marchand on the forecheck. He hits the ice. Quinn Hughes plays it away from Wilson. And here's Boldy. Boldy flipping one ahead. Goes into the skates here of Devon Taves. Gensel trying to make his way to it. Unable to. Now playing up the boards. Here comes Marchand with speed. Marchand over the blue line. Trying to get a shot off. Pickpocketed from behind by Austin Matthews. Faber now trying to deliver a big hit on Marchand. I think he got a piece of him. Cross ice path here. Marchand trying to wind up a wrist shot. Fanned on it. Boldy the other way for the United States. Soft dump in from him. A few chances to get a shot off there for Canada. Just couldn't pull the trigger. Now Matthews sends one up here. Tipped in by Brady Tkachuk behind the net. Binnington plays it away from Matthew. Celebrini. His breakout attempt for McKinnon finally makes its way to him after going off a couple of sticks. Celebrini now in shot pad save by Hellebuck. From the corner now. Celebrini again to the boards. McKinnon up high. Celebrini high slot a shot. Hit a body in front and it's knocked away. Now another slap shot and it goes wide right past McKinnon. Down low again. McKinnon, his centering pass. Picked off by the United States and they alleviate some pressure. At least for a moment. It's going to be icing on the United States with 9:58 left to go here in the first. Oh, that top line, I got to tell you, for Canada, they are as dangerous as they look on paper. Sort of feel yourself gripping your armrest on your chair just a little bit more tight when they're on the ice and they establish offensive zone possession. Face off to the right of Hellebuck, won by Eichel. Now breakout attempt for Werenski, sends it up here. Might be chipped just a little bit further by Matthew Tkachuk, and they head off on a change. Looks like the Larkin line coming on now for the U.S. Up ice here in a hurry. That is Sanheim, I believe. Or no, that's Reinhardt. He's rubbed off against the boards by Sanderson. Sanderson trying to kick it along. Horvat to Hagel, a shot, and oh boy, don't know if that went off of Hellebuck or a body, but that was really close to beating Hellebuck short side. Cross ice pass picked up here by Larkin. Larkin just over the blue line. Shot attempt blocked away there by Brandon Hagel. Now Sanderson to Hughes. Back up Sanderson, wraps it around behind the net. Catching it down there is Tage Thompson. 3 goals in the tournament for the Buffalo Sabres superstar. Now backhand flick here into the U.S. zone by Horvat. Hannafin to Quinn Hughes. Back to Hannafin here. The U.S. maybe trying to change on the fly here. Hannafin and Hughes still playing catch behind their own red line. Now here's Vinny Trocheck trying to make a move around Marner in the neutral zone. It's picked off. Canada back in. Marner trying to feed Makar. Now Makar has it. Middle of the blue line. His shot, and it's swallowed up by Hellebuck. My goodness. That one gave me a little bit of heart palpitations. Turnover in the neutral zone by Vinny Trocheck. Just a couple feet from the red line. It's got to get into the Canada zone on a dump in there. If you're the United States, do you have the most, skilled roster that you've ever had in Olympics? Yes. I think we can say that with ease. But does that mean you need to go shot for shot in terms of from a skill standpoint with Canada? No. The U.S. needs to play a simple game here. Take any shot attempt they can on net. Anything at the red line needs to go in. Anything up near their own blue line in the defensive zone needs to get out. Cannot let these close plays get by you and result in a scoring chance the other way here for Canada. Looking at all the men's Olympic ice hockey medal history for the United States. Again, that gold medal, very elusive, 1980. The last time the United States won gold, that was the Miracle team, the team that sported this exact jersey. I'm representing the retro Mike Eruzione. Sporting that right now. Got another one right there. U.S. wearing the white with the blue shoulders, just like that 1980 team. Fitting that the team they're playing is also in mostly red, as the U.S. tries to break this 46 years ago to the day gold medal drought. Again, if you missed the opening, February 22nd, 1980, that's when the U.S. won gold at Lake Placid with the Miracle team. Now it's 46 years later to the day, the U.S. fighting for gold once again. Face-off will be to the right of Hellebuck here. Looks like you're going to have McDavid versus Eichel on the draw. That was Vinny Trocheck. I was about to say, that's Eichel versus McDavid, the number 1 and 2 overall picks from the, I think, 2015 draft, squaring off right there on the draw. Puck is going to be batted down out of the air by Jacob Slavin with his bare hand, and Canada will need to regroup now in their own zone. Pass up here, Celebrini trying to chip one by the defense, couldn't do it. Now here comes Matthews the other way. Brought in by Boldy, just a little bit behind him, and now here comes Canada. McKinnon puts on the brakes. Celebrini back for McKinnon, tied up with a stick by Jake Gensel. Now it's going to be chipped off the boards and out by Boldy. 7:55 left to play here in the first period. Shots 7-2 in favor of Canada, but it is the U.S. with the 1-0 lead. Brought up here into the U.S. zone. It's Sam Bennett. Makes a move. Stick lifted by Eichel, and now Quinn Hughes. He's had a phenomenal tournament for the U.S. His cross-ice pass for Matthew Tkachuk, slowed down on the way by a Canadian stick. Breakout pass, Eichel kicks it along to Brady Tkachuk. Now joining the trailer, McAvoy. Oh my goodness, a slap pass from Matthew Tkachuk. Nobody could get a stick on it as it went through the crease. Would have been a tap-in goal, wide open, if someone would have gotten to it. Chipped up the boards here, but not out by Brady Tkachuk. He gets it again here. Now Brady turns it over. Oh my goodness. Please do not do that again. Shot attempt by Canada went just wide. Brady, a pass across his own defensive zone, was picked off, I think, by Suzuki, and he ripped it barely wide on the right side. Canada sending it up ice again. Suzuki just over the blue line. Puck stripped away from him by Werenski. Puck now goes off. The dasher flutters up into the air. Werenski again. Up to Brock Nelson. Nelson. Back here, Sanderson. Now Clayton Keller. Getting a stick on it. Werenski pokes it along. Jack Hughes. Hit. And the puck now in Canada's possession. Devon Taves will dump it in, and the defenseman's going to chase after his own puck. Werenski around the boards again. Sanderson, long stretch pass out to center. Miller, now to Vinny Trocheck. Behind the net. Nelson lets the puck go for Miller. Back up high. That puck was batted back down low now. Trocheck in front. Miller goes off of his skate, and it's a save made by Binnington as he was pushed back into his own net a little. Puck sent back down to U.S. ice. Slavin now with it, trying to get away from pressure, and he did. Jarvis and Horvat all over him. He leads the rush the other way. Trocheck passed up high for Miller. His stick was lifted. Now Seth Jarvis will get it back out here to the U.S. blue line. Dumped in there, fresh off the bench. I think that might have been Tage Thompson who dumped it in. Puck up high, kept in by Boldy. Now over, Jake Gensel. Puck hops over his stick. Celebrini pokes it ahead. McDavid chasing after it with speed. McDavid over. McKinnon trying to get it back to the slot for Celebrini, but again, the U.S. a good job of tying up sticks. Matthews that time on the back checks. Celebrini now loses it. Trying to get it back. McKinnon back to his point man. Dumped in here by Sanheim. Around the boards with authority. McKinnon. Top of the circle. Joining the party. Sanheim a shot. And it's going to be gloved by Hellebuck. Wow. Game is getting your heart pumping. That's for sure here. I think we went a solid stretch there without a whistle. And they're going to take their next little half break here where they sort of take a TV timeout, but it's not officially a commercial break. 7 of you in here right now. Welcome to the live stream. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so that you never miss a thing here on the channel. Again, like, share, leave a comment in the comment section. One thing that I am especially loving to this point for the United States, they seemingly have done their homework and they are knowing what Canada is trying to do when they get over the blue line here. For the United States, they try to find, after a cross zone pass, that late trailer in the center of the zone, right in the slot. And the U.S. has done a good job of getting back and tying up the sticks so that they do not get that shot opportunity. I think maybe 2 or 3 times in this period alone have seen McDavid or McKinnon go across to the other guy, and then they try to hit Celebrini, who's the third man in the high slot. And pretty much every single time the U.S. able to lift the stick, tie him up, impede them from getting a clean shot off, whatever the case may be. They've done an excellent job to this point. Action about to resume here. Looks like the Eichel and Tkachuk brother line is now on. And we'll see who Canada responds with here. Looking at the crowd there in Milan, seeing a ton of Canadian red in the crowd. I'm sure there is a good bit of U.S. blue and white mixed in there too. Looks like it'll be the rat line here for Canada on this offensive zone draw. Bennett against Eichel to the right of Hellebuck. 4:49 left to go in the first. Face off one to the boards. Marchand again, a centering pass picked off by the U.S. Now here's Quinn Hughes the other way. Puts on the brakes just over the blue line, trying to flutter one on net, hit a body. Now behind the net, Eichel with it. Eichel sending it, just maybe looking to bank it off the body of Matthew Tkachuk in front. It goes to the boards again. Brady to brother Matthew. From the corner, Matthew a shot. And it caught Binnington up high, but he was able to knock it down right in front of him and cover it for a whistle. 4:26 now left to go in the first. That is now the U.S.'s fourth shot of the hockey game. Shot total 8-4 in favor of the United States, or in favor of Canada, excuse me. Look there at Quinn Hughes. They just popped up his stats from this phenomenal Olympics for him. 1 goal, 7 assists, 8 points. That goal, probably a very, very big one that won the United States' quarterfinal game over Sweden. Off the face-off, shot from McAvoy well wide, was maybe looking for a Jake Gensel deflection. Now puck comes back in front. Gensel, a quick shot, went just wide. McAvoy over to Hughes. Behind the net. Parayko picks it up there, trying to get it up to McDavid. Kept alive by Quinn Hughes again. Now here's Matthews with it to Boldy, and back for Matthews in. Pass was just behind him a tiny bit. Good passing there from the United States. Good keep at the line by Hughes. It goes down low. Matthews to Boldy. Boldy, the return feed for Matthews. His stick was tied up a little bit by Parayko. Pass was behind him anyways. And the pass goes off the skates of Parayko. And it just softly goes right back in on Binnington, who puts his mitt on it. Defensive zone face-off won by Canada. They sky it back down to U.S. ice, but it's quickly going to be sent up ice here by the U.S. And I thought Tage Thompson touched it, but apparently not. It's going to be an icing here on the United States. So an offensive zone face-off here, a freebie given to Canada. Look at the goaltender comparisons for Canada and the U.S. 4 games played between apiece by Hellebuck and Binnington. Each man undefeated up to this point in the tournament. That is not going to stay the case by the end of this one. 3:40 now going here now left here in the first. Another look for the McKinnon, Celebrini, McDavid line here. Celebrini, a centering pass off the skates of a U.S. defender. Puck gets wrapped around behind the net. McKinnon puts it back down low again. McDavid tied up there with Nelson. Leaves it for Celebrini, who's now slammed up against the boards by Faber. Looks like we got a 2-on-2 board battle here. JT Miller in Faber with McDavid and Sanheim. Down low, Celebrini centering pass for McDavid. Couldn't connect. Slavin kicks it up the boards. And now the U.S. trying to break the other way. Here's Nelson. Nelson makes his move to the center of the ice. Nelson all tied up. And we're going to have a penalty here. I was wondering. I had a bit of a pause there in my thinking. Nelson trying to cut to the middle. He had Celebrini and I think Sanheim all over him. Shea Theodore as well, who came in off the bench. And it's Theodore who's going to go to the box here. And it's going to be a hook here on the United States, or here on Canada. The U.S. to the power play. Great job by Nelson. Doing everything he could to cut to the middle and show, hey, I'm getting hooked here. You better call something. Now this U.S. power play, which has been very good here in this Olympics. They come on. The top unit for the U.S. Matthews, Eichel, Matthew Tkachuk, Tage Thompson, and Quinn Hughes. Won by Matthews. Up high, Quinn Hughes across the blue line. Pass over. Goes to Eichel. Down low, Thompson. Pestered by Devon Taves. Taves now up the boards. Eichel throws it to the net. Matthews alone. Back for Tage Thompson across the crease. Couldn't get a shot off. And it's cleared by Canada. Canada's penalty killers. Looks like it's Nick Suzuki out there with Brandon Hagel. Kel McCarr, Devon Taves. Down low in the offensive zone. Matthews up high. Thompson couldn't catch up to it. It goes out again to center ice. Here comes Hughes. Just over the blue line. Stopping, trying to get things set up here. Down low to the corner. That's Matthew Tkachuk. Now to Austin Matthews. To Tkachuk. Back for Matthews. With space and time. Up high, Hughes. Walking the blue line. Hughes now moving lower. Eichel at the goal line. Working his way back up the boards. Eichel to Thompson. Trying to center it for Matthews. Knocked away by Harley. Up high. Eichel again. Down low, Thompson. Stuff attempt there. Save made by Binnington. He doesn't know where it is. Whistle does not blow, and it's cleared again by Canada. 40 seconds now left on the man advantage for the U.S. They are changing players. Pass for Jake Gensel goes by him, and Canada's going to clear it out to center again. Brady Tkachuk. Now to Werenski, who jumps on. Second unit. Not going to have a ton of time here. 25 seconds left. Gensel just over the blue line. Trying to chip it back to Werenski. Kept alive by Werenski. Across the zone it goes. Jack Hughes throwing it to the net. Tipped on the way by Brady Tkachuk. Would not go. Hughes. High slot. Past Gensel to Werenski. Now Jack Hughes. High slot. Hughes a shot. Off a skate and wide. Brady Tkachuk in the corner. Maintains possession in front. Off the skate of Gensel and through. Penalty has expired for Canada. Pass up high. Picked off by Theodore. And he's going to softly dump it in. Stone on the forecheck here. But we have a whistle and it's going to be an icing here on Canada. It looks like Theodore did not gain the red line. And that is a break for the U.S. A couple of looks for the U.S. Again, Matthews, that feed across the slot was intended, I think, for Tkachuk. He was tied up, and then it went past Thompson. Matthews there, if he maybe holds on to the puck just for another second, he had Binnington fidgeting all over the place. He might have been able to slide it 5-hole. 48.3 seconds left to go in the first period. Shots getting closer to even. It's now 8-6. Fourth line out there for the U.S. Face-off won by Trocheck in the offensive zone. Miller throws it on net, but that shot will not count. Looks like it is a false draw here. A little bit too quick on his hand there was Trocheck, and it's going to be a redo here on the face-off. Looks like it is the Stone, Marner, and Suzuki line that is on here for the U.S. or for Canada. Shot again there from JT Miller. Again stopped by Binnington. Only 3 seconds expired. 45.1 now left. That Miller shot, not a whole lot on it, but it went 5-hole on Binnington. He was able to squeeze his legs tightly together, compact his body, get the stop. 45.1 remaining here in the first. Tie up off the face-off. Trocheck got it back to his D-man McAvoy in the corner. Miller trying to fight through contact. Pinned against the wall by Harley in the corner. 2-on-2. Horvat and Trocheck, they're tied up, as is Harley and Miller. Harley plays it up the boards. Goes out to center ice. McDavid now on. Slavin playing it to McAvoy. 20 seconds now left in the period. Slavin, maybe one last chance up ice here for the U.S., but Slavin will lose possession of it to Drew Doughty. Doughty, his breakout pass, stolen by Nelson. Nelson, looking high slot for Matthew Tkachuk. Up high, blast by Slavin, save made by Binnington. 3 seconds left. Celebrini, cross ice for McDavid. He'll run out of time, and that is going to do it for the first period of play in the gold medal game in Milan, Italy. Back and forth period between the United States and Canada. Excellent scoring chances for each team, but it is the Matt Boldy difference maker. A phenomenal play to split the defense and make a hell of a deke on Jordan Binnington. That made it 1-0. 20 minutes in the books and already a heart-pounding 20 minutes. And we still got 40 left to go. Going to take a much-needed little bit of a break here for the first intermission report. Please do not go anywhere. On your way in, if you are new here, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so that you do not miss a thing. Leave a like, share this live stream so we can keep building up viewership in here. And in the comment section, your thoughts on the first period, your predictions for the second period and the rest of the game beyond that. Please stay where you are. First period in the books here in this gold medal game between the United States and Canada. 1-0 U.S. after one, looking for gold for the first time since 1980. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Second period of play from Milan, Italy in the gold medal game of men's ice hockey between the United States and Canada about to begin here in a moment. What an exhilarating first period of play we just watched a few minutes ago. Back and forth action, big hits, close chances, close calls for each team, but it is the United States off of an absolute beauty of a goal from Matt Boldy. That is the difference maker. 1-0 United States with 40 minutes to go. So looking here, waiting for puck drop to come back on the screen here to my right. I'm overall pleased with how the U.S. Played in that period. There were a few things to clean up. Some breakout passes weren't necessarily all that good. One in particular, Brady Tkachuk throwing it back to the middle of his own zone. That's a big no-no. It was picked off by Nick Suzuki, and he just ripped one wide past the post. Other than that, the U.S. in their own zone, very responsible in tying up a man, preventing Canada, which I think Canada, their clear intention is to cycle the puck and get a pass to the middle of the zone, somewhere between the hash marks and the top of the circle in the middle, whether it's off the rush, hitting a third man coming in late, or from the corner, feeding something to the front, hoping for a one-timer. The U.S. doing a good job of tying up sticks, preventing Canada from getting off shots from high danger areas. And neutral zone, they have done a good job, I believe, making sure the puck gets deep. And then in the offensive zone, cycling things back up to their defense and then back down low. They have had a few opportunities where they've had a couple pucks, slide through the slot back door, unable to tap it into an open net. But hey, stuff to build on. I think overall positively for that from that first period of play. Let's see if the second period of play reflects anything from the first. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so that you do not miss a thing here on the channel. Again, like this live stream, share this live stream, leave a comment in the comment section. Any thoughts, questions, or opinions that you may have, get those in there. Mentioned in the intro to today's video, if you're a superstitious person, 46 years ago to the day that Team USA last won gold. That was with the 1980 Miracle team. Another thing that the U.S. Can play for today in terms of speciality with this date today, the late Johnny Gaudreau, one of his children, Johnny Edward Gaudreau, turning 2 years old today on February 22nd. And of course, it was throughout the Four Nations face-off and throughout these Olympics that the United States has still had a jersey of Johnny Gaudreau hanging in the locker room. I bet you he probably would have been on this U.S. team more likely than not. So the chance here for the United States today to win gold for Johnny and his child and break this 46-year goldless drought for the United States. Another cool thing that I saw during the break, I saw it on social media first, and then they popped it up on the TV over here. Matt Boldy, the opening goal scorer for the U.S. Apparently, there is a watch party back in his hometown where his mother works at a local restaurant. They're having a big watch party there, and his mom, who works there, they have the watch party there. They react to Boldy scoring the first goal of the game at his mother's place of employment. So I thought that was pretty cool as well. So 1-0 after one, thanks to Boldy. I don't think we've gotten a look at Canada's power play yet. As a matter of fact, I know we haven't. The U.S. did get one look at their power play in the first period. They got set up once or twice, didn't result in any shots, I don't think. I think there were maybe a couple opportunities to shoot the puck, but they made an extra pass. Hopefully they're able to start shooting, going with a shoot first mentality here against Jordan Binnington. No looks yet at Canada's power play. And as much as I love the U.S. In their defensive zone being responsible, tying up sticks for the Canadians, could I see, one of those stick lifts or whatever getting in on the hands of a Canadian player, drawing a penalty, something like that? Sure, I could see that. So it's all about the U.S. staying disciplined and making sure they don't get too overly aggressive in preventing Canada from getting a clean shot off on Connor Hellebuck. So second period of play, I think about to get going here. I think I might have come back live here just a tad bit too quickly here. I had to work my way through another commercial break right there. Looks like Brady Tkachuk today for the United States is mic'd up. A few games ago, you had Dylan Larkin and Matthew Tkachuk all mic'd up, and now Brady here for this gold medal game today mic'd up as well. Could we maybe get another clutch goal from Brady Tkachuk today? I would love that. He scored a big goal in the Four Nations face-off finale a year or so ago. Maybe Brady, who he and Matthew, they are wearing their emotions on their sleeves in this tournament. They have talked about ad nauseum about how grateful they are and how stoked they are to represent Team USA. I'd like to think, I'm not a betting man, but I'd like to think if anybody for the United States is going to end up getting a tally for the rest of this game, I wouldn't be too bold in saying I think the Tkachuk brothers might have one in them here today. One of the two. Puck drop now, about to go on here for the second period. Nate MacKinnon versus Jack Eichel again on the draw, and it is won by Eichel. We are underway. Second period of play in the gold medal game of men's Olympic ice hockey here. Puck is going to go around the boards here in Canada's zone and all the way back down to U.S. territory. Breakout here for Charlie McAvoy to Jack Eichel. Now Eichel with it. Eichel a shot. I think that was stopped by Binnington. Popped back out on the rebound, but Canada was able to find it and get it back out to center. The U.S. regrouping in the neutral zone right now. Now Quinn Hughes, long pass up, tipped in. Or no, it was not tipped in. It's going to be an icing here on the Americans. One thing I would like to see more, the U.S., they have been unable to get sticks on these long stretch passes through the neutral zone. It's resulted in a couple of icings against them. Maybe got to get better stick on puck here to prevent these icings. Can't be giving Canada too many free offensive zone draws here. Faceoff is going to be to the right of Hellebuck. It's won by Sam Bennett. Back to the point now. Devon Toews was looking to walk the blue line, but I think they're going to call offsides here. Looks like Toews did not keep that puck in. So the U.S., after icing it, they are going to get a free change. Maybe a little bit of a crisis averted right there. The Vincent Trocheck, JT Miller, Brock Nelson line now hops on for the United States. You will see them play a ton of minutes in the defensive zone. They go against the top unit for Canada right now. The McKinnon, McDavid, Celebrini line hops back over the boards, and it's going to be another icing here for the U.S. I mean, again, just someone, just a little touch or a tip on the puck will do wonders right now. Now you're giving a free offensive zone face-off here to the most dangerous line in this tournament from start to finish. McKinnon on the draw against Nelson, won by McKinnon. Up high, McCarr dumps it back behind the net. Sanderson trying to get a stick on it. Celebrini, centering pass picked off by Miller. And here comes Sanderson, red line and in for Jake Sanderson. Devon Toews plays it behind his own net more for McCarr. JT Miller got a stick on it for a moment, and now McKinnon breaks it out. Chasing after it, Toews. Brock Faber chopping it along. Out in the neutral zone, it looks like Miller was tied up for a second. Back in comes a shot, and oh my goodness, Connor McDavid, his shot, that might have squeezed just through Hellebuck and went wide of the post. Just like that, that is how quickly this Canada top line can turn things into a scoring chance. They are skilled and they are fast. And McDavid, one of the most dangerous shooters of the puck off the rush, nearly beat Hellebuck right there. The U.S. trying to respond, slaving in, throwing one across the crease there, looking for maybe a tip by Matthews. Couldn't catch up to it. Sanderson down low. Austin Matthews back up high. Werenski across. Sanderson moving in. Sanderson a shot, and again it went through the blue paint. He's looking for, someone's stick or escape, but nobody is there on the far post to be able to tap it in. Matt Boldy back up. He's got the goal in this game for the U.S. Dylan Larkin hops on for Matthews. Gensel back to Larkin. Quinn Hughes off the bench. Punches it deeper. Gensel working his way back up high. Top of the circle. Gensel trying to spin one back here for Tage Thompson. Can't keep it in the zone. It goes all the way back down to Connor Hellebuck. Hughes absorbs a hit there. Moves the puck to McAvoy. Now up ice. Larkin for Jack Hughes. Larkin punches it deeper again. Harley. Now for Tage Thompson and Brandon Hagel trying to find one of his defensemen for a breakout. Now they got it. Canada. Parayko up to Seth Jarvis. Jarvis trying to chip it past Quinn Hughes. Couldn't do it. Now Hagel trying to find space and get a shot off. Fights off Jack Hughes. His pass attempt back for Jarvis wouldn't go. Now a shot attempt from Kel Makar off the skate of Quinn Hughes. Up high to Von Taves. Top of the circle. Makar tried to make a move. Turned it over, but got it back. My goodness. Jack Hughes, he almost stole that puck and was off. Breaking the other way, one-on-one. Now Seth Jarvis back in. Spinorama, backhander to the front from, I believe, Bo Horvat or Nick Suzuki wouldn't go. Kachuk, Brady dumps it in. Matthews on the forecheck, doesn't get it. Makar, breakout for Seth Jarvis. Jarvis over the blue line, makes a move on Sanderson, goes to the corner. Sanderson couldn't stop that centering pass. Thankfully, a U.S. teammate was there to clean it up. Boldy, dump in here. Drew Doughty. With Sidney Crosby out of the lineup. Doughty, the very experienced veteran D-man on this Canada Olympic team. Dump in here by Canada on the forecheck. Wilson, or excuse me, that was Mitch Marner trying to get the puck. Puck comes up high here to Sanheim. Now from the corner, Stone up high. Doughty moving in. Doughty, a shot. Tipped on the way in. Hellebuck somehow kept it out. That puck changed direction. Now a cross-ice feed for McDavid picked off by Boldy. U.S. still can't get it deep into Canada's zone. They do get some guys off, but quickly up ice comes Canada. Stone, centering pass, knocked away by Eichel on the back check. Stone was looking for Sam Bennett in front. Off the bench, Tom Wilson, his shot sticked away by Eichel again. Up high. Marner walking the blue line. Back here, Thomas Harley moving in. His shot blocked there by Slavin. Great job getting in front of the shooting lanes. Here for the U.S. Up high, Marchand spins away. His shot, pad save by Hellebuck. The U.S. here just trying to survive this early onset from Canada 5 minutes into the period. Harley, back up here. Tom Wilson, back for Harley with time and space. Shot blocked again by Slavin. Boldy, red line, and he'll dump it in. Binnington stops it for Canada. Makar, vrooming up through center. Gets past the first man. Now behind the U.S. net. Makar collides with Bo Horvat. Horvat now behind the red line for the U.S. goal. Horvat down low. Reinhart bringing it out. Short side attempt shut down by Hellebuck. JT Miller will flick it back out to Canada ice. No icing. Devon Taves, turnover in the slot. Nelson, a shot, pad saved by Binnington. Make it one apiece now. Terrible giveaways by each team. That resulted in a scoring opportunity. Back the other way. Horvat, his shot might have gone off the stick of Nelson and wide. McKinnon off the bench. Up high, Shea Theodore. His shot blocked by Boldy. Over to his D partner, Sanheim. Now McKinnon across the Theodore. Back Sanheim. A short side attempt on Hellebuck. Pad save made. McKinnon. Here again. Making his way past back up high. And oh my goodness. A big break there for the U.S. and rogue stick on the ice at the top of the zone. McKinnon's pass attempt for Theodore goes off of that vacant stick and back out to center. Canada back into the U.S. zone. McAvoy trying to break it out to Larkin, and now Matthews finally kicks it out to center. But Canada still with possession. Parayko to McDavid. Now Celebrini over. McKinnon. Now Jack Hughes steals it away. Hughes fends off pressure from Celebrini. Pressure all around him. Passed out here for Matthews. Dumped in by Larkin. Hughes on the forecheck. Centering pass for Larkin. Too hot for him to handle. Larkin now. Thompson moving in. His shot. Save made by Binnington out on top of the blue paint. And it is covered for a whistle. Second shot of the period for the U.S. Binnington again way out on top of his crease. Makes the stop, and oh my goodness. Gotta catch my breath there because wow. The U.S. surviving. The only definition that you can give for that beginning of the period. Canada, all four of their lines rotating in on that opening to the period, establishing offensive zone pressure in the United States. Connor Hellebuck making a few big saves. You have guys like Jacob Slavin getting in the way of these shots, blocking everything he possibly can. And now maybe a chance to regather themselves here for the United States, regain some composure, get back to an even playing field here. You'd certainly hope so. Just a moment ago here on NBC, like I just said at the beginning of the second period here, showed the United States and their remembrance of Johnny Gaudreau here in these Olympics. The jersey still being hung in the locker room. Another look here at the turnover by Devon Taves 1 second ago. Brock Nelson moving in, nearly had a chance to give the U.S. a 2-0 lead, but Binnington way out on top of his crease, shutting down the Nelson attempt. Honestly, if you're the United States and you have a little bit of space and opportunity here against Binnington, seems like he is inching further and further out to even beyond the blue paint on these grade A opportunities. Might want to take the extra second, take something on your backhand, slide it into a wide open net if time permits it. Face off in the defensive zone, won by Canada, but the U.S. brings it back in quickly here after the puck went out to center. Jack Hughes had his pocket picked by Tom Wilson. Now back the other way, trying to make a nifty move. I think that was Mitch Marner, or Brad Marchand, excuse me, and he couldn't dipsy doodle his way around Charlie McAvoy. Back down the boards here, Quinn Hughes, his shot attempt blocked away. Now Jack Hughes flies by his brother Quinn in the corner. Jack, back for Larkin. Jack centering pass. Oh my goodness, Tage Thompson on the backhand. Binnington might have gotten a piece of that, or it might have gone off the post. Either way, maybe an inch or so away from a 2-0 lead, Tage Thompson came from putting the U.S. up 2-0. 11:40 now left to go in the second period. Slavin back in his own zone to Eichel. Cross ice pass here. Brady Tkachuk, a soft dump in. Matthew flying in there. Delivers a check on Makar. Now it's Devon Taves with it. Pass up the boards for Makar, a little wide, kept in by the U.S. Brady Tkachuk in the corner. Now Eichel. Up high, Slavin. Over, Faber. He'll send it behind again. Brady. Hogtied there by the other number 7 on the ice today, Taves. Matt Boldy, the goal scorer in this game, on the ice. Faber pinching down, keeps it alive. Eichel behind the net. Now Boldy there trying to help him. Taves chops it along here to Mark Stone, kept in again. Slavin, his shot off the skates of someone in front. And now the other way, oh my God. Connor McDavid on the breakaway and standing tall. Connor Hellebuck with the pad keeps it out. McDavid came in off of a change. And now a trip out in the neutral zone. No call here. And now we're going to call that. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, are you kidding me? Absolutely ridiculous. Jake Gensel, as he's trying to retrieve the puck in his own zone, gets tripped up, no call. And as he tries to step in front of Brandon Hagel, he's going to get called for an interference. A look again at the McDavid opportunity. Hellebuck just pinning each of his legs against the posts, shutting down the McDavid backhand, forehand. But now McDavid and this Canada power play going to have their first opportunity of the game. I do not blame Jake Gensel one single bit for taking that penalty. In hockey, a good penalty is one that prevents a goal. He might have done that with Brandon Hagel trying to streak past him as Gensel just gets to his feet. The Canada power plays begin with a opening clear by the United States. Back to get it, Cale Makar. This may be one of the most star-studded power plays we've ever seen. Makar right up the middle, gets through here, and they're going to call it again. Are you kidding me? Oh my God! Cale Makar! Bravo! Bravo, Makar! Give him the Emmy. Give him the Golden Glove right now for that acting job. Just absolutely pinning the stick underneath his armpit of Charlie McAvoy. Now 2 cell jobs by the Canadians is going to give him a 5-on-3 power play for 1:33. This game, it's turning on its head, in case you haven't noticed. 2 penalties by the U.S. on the second look of that replay. Mean nothing McAvoy could do there. His stick was tied up in Makar, so it is more of a legitimate penalty than what initially was perceived. The Gensel penalty, though, still bullshit in my opinion. Here we go again, 5-on-3. A clear by the U.S., but now Canada set up. One-timer from McKinnon. Went high and wide all the way around the glass and back out to center. A minute now left on the power play for Canada. This 5-on-3. Again on their entry, they lose the puck and it's sent down the length of the ice again. Canada, the most star-studded power play we have ever seen. Back over the blue line. Celebrini sends it up high, Makar, over to McDavid. McDavid moving down to Celebrini. McDavid, Celebrini at the goal line again, up high, McDavid, high slot. Celebrini, one-timer, shut down on the short side by Hellebuck. Cleared again by the United States. Quick up here from Binnington. McDavid with time and space moving in. Dropping. McKinnon, 20 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Theodore now out there for Makar. Over to Celebrini. Back to Theodore. McDavid near the goal line. Theodore, Celebrini, a shot shut down by Hellebuck. Cleared, but they're gonna, oh my God, they're going to blow it down. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. Clearing attempt was there for the U.S. Brock Faber had an opportunity to rip it around the boards and out and kill off the rest of this 5-on-3, but the official loses sight of the puck and blows it dead. Puck was loose. Very, very quick on that whistle. I see you back there in that shot. Oh, my goodness. So the U.S. had a chance to clear the puck there. But now you're going to give Canada another offensive zone draw. Officiating starting to piss all of us off. Should be expected. You know, the way the Canada got so many favorable calls in the corners in the semis. Don't think that their comebacks were, you know, entirely legitimate against Czechia and Finland. Face-off won by Horvat up to Makar. Marner back to Makar. His shot looking for Marchand on the back door by the post. Couldn't connect. One man now out of the box for the U.S. Think it's Gensel. Now short side stuff attempt from Marchand. It's going to be cleared. Save made again. Hellebuck, the best penalty killer right now for the U.S. 10 seconds left on the 5-on-4 for the U.S. Marner, cross corner dub. That's going to be icing. It is. It is an icing on Canada. 5 seconds left on the power play. An offensive zone face-off coming up here for the United States. And barring a insanely quick rush up ice off the face-off for the Canadians, the man advantage is going to be over. A look again here at the chance a moment ago for Canada. They ran into Hellebuck. Hellebuck, as he's on all fours, still makes the save. He wasn't in any sort of a proper position or technique to make that save. And he's palms to the sky on the referee, wondering where's the penalty. Holy hell. Offensive zone face-off here, shorthanded for the U.S. Tie-up, it's going to be won by Canada. 2 seconds and 1. And out of the box comes Charlie McAvoy. We're back to 5-on-5. Mitch Marner up ice. Now out of the breakout pass. Shot here. I think it went off of the stick of Slavin and into the netting for a whistle. Excellent, excellent, excellent for the United States. It looked like momentum in this hockey game was turning ever so severely in favor of Canada and the U.S. with that crucial 5-on-3 penalty kill against one of the best power plays we may ever see. They get a huge pat on the back and a well job done right there. 10 of you in here right now. Welcome into this live stream, reacting and commentating live to the United States versus Canada in this gold medal game for the 2026 Milan Cortina Olympics. The U.S. a 1-0 lead taken in the first period by Matt Boldy. If you're just joining us, a phenomenal goal by Boldy. Go watch it back on intermission. And then so far in the second period, it has been all Canada. Started out the period with tons of offensive zone pressure, just as the U.S. looked to be generating some offensive zone pressure of their own. Jake Gensel gets nabbed with a terrible penalty after he was tripped up with no call. He then takes an interference penalty. That was shortly followed by a Charlie McAvoy penalty, an extended 5-on-3 power play for Canada. No cigar. Close, but no cigar. Not for a lack of trying. They tried to pepper Connor Hellebuck, but the Vezina winning goaltender for the Winnipeg Jets standing tall between the pipes currently for the United States. Oh my goodness. To the comments section. Thomas Dowdy here. This is wild watching. Definitely can tell chemistry plays a big part. The short few weeks together are absolutely crazy to watch, and you can tell the most of these guys have no chemistry together. Yeah, just you're probably looking at when these practices started for each of these teams. Probably this is going off of 3 weeks, maybe 3.5 weeks of chemistry here for each of these teams, and they're playing for one of the biggest prizes in all of sports, Olympic gold. Austin Matthews here, back in for the U.S. Pass or shot attempt from the boards. Slowly in on Binnington. Save is made. Now, oh my God. We got a nasty collision back behind the play here. Is this an icing? Tom Wilson was chasing after the puck back in the U.S. zone with Charlie McAvoy and Matt Boldy back there. Boldy clearly not, any intent on knocking down Wilson. He steps in front of Wilson. And Wilson, he's a big, strong dude. I think he was trying to sell an interference there. And for whatever attempt that may have been there, he slides into the boards. Looks to be all right. Face-off back in the Canada zone off of the icing was won by Canada. Now Colton Parayko trying to flick it out to center, but puck comes to the high slot. Matthew Tkachuk trying to swat that puck out of midair, or excuse me, Jake Gensel. No, that was Matthew Tkachuk. He got 19 and 59 out there. Tkachuk trying to swat that puck on net. Didn't reach its intended target. Now a breakout here. Gensel with Austin Matthews. Matthews now on the forecheck. Sanheim plays it away from him. Up the boards and back out to center. Jake Slavin takes it there, gives it over to Brock Faber. Off the bench here, Jack Eichel comes on. Eichel now back with the Tkachuk brothers. throwing one towards the net, or at least tried to. Puck came up high. Nobody knew where the puck was. Went up high to Faber. His shot was blocked away by a Canadian player as well. Kept in at the line here by Matthew. Throws it down deep. Binnington stopped it for a moment to Theodore. Theodore now to Sanheim, stepping down. Matthew Tkachuk looking for Eichel in the high slot. Puck couldn't get to him in time. Now Eichel spinning one deeper. Binnington stops it behind the net again. 6 minutes and 20 seconds left in the second period. Fourth line comes on for the U.S. Back in his own zone. Sanderson circles behind his own net and skates up ice now. Over to Werenski. Puck is not going to be tipped in again. Another icing for the United States. They have not been all that good on these dump-in attempts where they need to get a deflection. Haven't been able to get stick on puck, and it results in another icing here, and I believe that is going to have somewhat tired bodies out there for the fourth line for the U.S., and thank goodness for them, at least the most dangerous Canadian line not out there right now, the Celebrini, McDavid, McKinnon line just heading off. Face off in the defensive zone, won by Vinny Trocheck. U.S. can't clear it up the boards, though. Kept in. Devon Taves a shot. Pad save made, and it goes to the corner from Hellebuck. Might have been deflected on the way by, too. Now Nick Suzuki replacing the injured Sidney Crosby as the second line center in this one. Suzuki up high. McCarr back for, looks like a Mark Stone there. Shot, stuff attempt there by Marner. Shut down by Hellebuck. Over, Marner. Pass over, Taves. Chopping it. Hellebuck had no idea where it is. And now he seals up the posts there. More pressure here from Canada. Suzuki lost it to Werenski. Werenski's going to finally chip it out, at least to center here. Trocheck out here for a while for the U.S. Back up with speed, enters the zone. Suzuki a shot off of, looks like Jake Sanderson and out of play. And is Sanderson all right here? Might be a tiny bit slow to get to his feet. Appears to be all right now. And he'll skate off. Oh, boy. Don't like that. Canada still just getting offensive possession after offensive possession here. This has been an all-Canadian second period. The U.S. would make me feel a whole lot better if they were able to generate something offensively here to end this second period. We'll see. Back here to Thomas for a second, playing the positions instead of playing together. Indeed, talking about the chemistry of these teams. You do have guys just, to get as many stars on the team for Canada playing out of position, like Connor McDavid and Nathan McKinnon. They're constantly wings. You got Bo Horvat. I think he's a wing on his line. I think you've seen a little bit from Bo Horvat playing wing. Same thing with Nick Suzuki when they're out there together. But yeah, I mean, chemistry does play a factor in this game, and I think these teams are relying a little bit on star power here. Thomas Doughty, Wilson, the dirty player. My inner Penguins fan definitely agrees with that. Definitely was put on this Canada Olympic roster to bring that physicality factor to their game, and he is trying to do it. Still, it kind of pissed me off him a moment ago with Matt Boldy. He went crashing into the boards. Appeared to maybe, shake off a little cobwebs on that hit, but definitely think he was trying to sell an interference call there on Boldy. Like, dude, you're a gigantic, muscular hockey player. I doubt, Boldy stepping in front of you is going to cause you to go flying in like that, like a madman. So play resumes here. 5 minutes left to go in the second period. Offensive zone faceoff won by Canada. A slap shot from the point by Colton Parayko. Connor Hellebuck had two men in front of him, but he was able to find the puck through that traffic and glove it for another faceoff here. There's Wayne Gretzky in the building. Saw him on the pregame show for this game. Also, you had Mike Eruzione representing the Americans on the pregame as well. Another shot from the point here from Thomas Harley. Might have hit his own man, Celebrini, in front. This McDavid, McKinnon, Celebrini line on. And in the offensive zone, ever dangerous. Over to Parayko. Down low, intended for Celebrini. Puck hopped over his stick. Now Celebrini brings it out in front, chipping in, or trying to. Hellebuck again lost the puck for a moment, but might have been in just good enough position where Celebrini put it off of the unbeknown goaltender. Puck wrapped around the boards here by Canada. It's so hard that dump in that it went back out to center ice. A dump in here from center ice on goal, played to the corner by Hellebuck. Faber to Quinn Hughes. Hughes to his brother Jack in the neutral zone. Dropping it now, Dylan Larkin over the blue line and in. Larkin down the boards, trying to speed his way around Doughty. Doughty, a good stick. Separated man from puck. Wilson in the corner, battling for it with Tage Thompson. Thompson now trying to fight with Sanheim for it. Taken now by Bennett. To the corner, Doughty. Pass up here for Wilson. Now Bennett on the dump in. Around the boards. Marchand sees the puck goes by him and back down to Canadian ice. There's Makar with it. Back to his Avalanche D partner and partner for these Olympics, Taves. Over the blue line, Stone finds a trailer. Makar. Now McDavid trying to get it back to Mark Stone. Couldn't pull the trigger. Now Makar over. McDavid up high to Taves. Again, the U.S. hemmed in their own zone. Taves. It's like a power play right now for Canada. Makar back to McDavid. McDavid down the wall. Circles behind the net. To Makar in front. Short side shut down again by Hellebuck. And now some rough stuff behind the net. Looks like Matthew Tkachuk has a piece of Kel Makar and Mitch Marner, Mark Stone tied up with Brock Faber and Brady Tkachuk. Be careful, boys. Can't go short-handed off of this. Have not seen the referee point anybody to the box quite yet. Hoping that he just then pointed to the face-off dot. Brady losing his lid. He's going to go to the U.S. bench here. Maybe get some repairs done at that. Do not think anything's going to come of this. Another look here. Celebrini, just at the last second, Connor Hellebuck was able to find out where the puck was and get a pad on that chance from the 19-year-old Macklin Celebrini. Then a look here. That just ended it. Makar, little extra whack at the glove of Hellebuck as he has it frozen, and it was Dylan Larkin and Matthew Tkachuk escorting Makar over to the glass. 3:08 left to go now in the second. Another defensive zone face-off for the U.S. Tie-up in the corner now. McAvoy punches it up the boards to JT Miller. He'll lightly flick it out to center. Devon Taves with it. Up now to McKinnon. McKinnon now prevented from entering the zone. Back to Makar. Over to McKinnon. Puck top over his stick. And now McAvoy hopefully able to get things going with a clean breakout here for the U.S. Pass to Eichel. Now up over the stick again of Nelson. That time, I don't think I'm necessarily going to blame Nelson for not getting a piece of it. Puck took a nasty bounce off of that sauce pass for Eichel, and it's an icing again. 2:37 left in the second. Shots 24-15 in favor of Canada, but the score again still remains for the time being 1-0 USA. Face off to the right of Hellebuck. Eichel versus Horvat on the draw. False start by both men here. Now another attempt at dropping the puck. And play resumes. Face off actually came back towards Hellebuck's crease, but the U.S. will play out with it. McAvoy trying to softly dump it around Theodore. You got to get it in. Now Horvat the other way, shouldered off the puck by Eichel. McAvoy now hard off the glass, and Travis Sanheim will have to play it back in his own zone. Theodore across his own blue line. Puck is chipped into the zone by Celebrini. Now Sanderson up the boards. Not out. Gensel sends it back behind his own cage again for Quinn Hughes. Hughes now long stretch pass up ice. Was looking for Austin Matthews behind the play, but it was read there by, I think that was Colton Parayko. And now another icing for the United States. Seems like the U.S. trying to start longer and longer breakout passes through center ice, and they've resulted in icings and nearly a turnover and brought back the other way by Canada. Face off again to the right of Hellebuck. This time is Matthews on the draw. He loses it up high. Taves. Now Makar down the boards. Makar in shot. He scores. Felt like it was only a matter of time this period. Cale Makar, Norris Trophy winning defenseman for the Colorado Avalanche, finds tons of time and space as he comes down the right side and ever so slightly beats Connor Hellebuck far side for the game-tying goal. And honestly, had that feeling deep down, didn't want to say it, that Canada was going to score this period. If the U.S. can survive this last minute 30 seconds, they should be very fortunate that they are only down, or that they only are tied with Canada, because this has been a rotten period for the United States. Poor defensive work as well here by the United States. They all get caught puck watching. They all get sucked over to the left side of the zone, and that's what then allows Makar to come wide open down the right side and score. .133 left in the second period. Face off after an offsides by Canada. It's going to be just outside the U.S. zone. Canada, with the last minute 30 seconds, is going to load up with the McKinnon, McDavid, Celebrini line again. Face off won by McDavid. Dumped in by Parayko around the boards. Hanifin trying to chip it out. Kept in up high by Harley. Harley now throwing it towards the net. Hit a body in front. That might have been Brock Nelson. Nelson again gets in front of a shot. And the U.S. back the other way now. Dylan Larkin over. Nelson. Puck hopped away from him. Nelson behind the net. JT Miller cycling it back up high for Slavin. Dumped down the boards again. Miller over. Pass. Off target intended for Hanifin. And that's a free clear for Canada. Now Slavin. Up the boards. Chipped into the zone by someone. Matthew Tkachuk in the corner. Played away from him. Now Mitch Marner to Nate McKinnon. 45 seconds left in the period. McKinnon puts on the brakes. Top of the circle. His shot. That might have grazed some iron. And now the U.S. trying to have one last gasp of offense the other way. Faber to Matthew Tkachuk. High slot shot. Save made by Binnington. It's kept out. Again, top of his crease, Binnington making a save. Quinn Hughes across the blue line now, 20 seconds. Has Jarvis draped all over him. Now Eichel up high. Faber a shot. Tipped on the way. Did that go in? No, they're going to say it hit pipe. Matthew Tkachuk trying to send it deeper. Makar up the other way for Jarvis. 5 seconds left in. Think this is going to be off iron. How did this puck not go in? Oh my God, it hit 2 posts. Shot from Brock Faber. I think it was tipped by Matthew Tkachuk and it hit both posts. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? .2 seconds left in the second. Face off just outside the U.S. zone. Sam Bennett, Trocheck on the draw. Matt Boldy, long shot attempt in on goal from center ice, kept out by Binnington. And now are we going to have some rough stuff in front of the U.S. bench here? And Tom Wilson's in on it. Charlie McAvoy feeding him some rights. Come on, Wilson, be a dumbass. Take a penalty. Please, take a penalty. You know you want to. The voices are talking. Nothing's going to come of it. Both sides now separate. Wonder what started all of that. Still, Brad Marchand trying to go at someone here. I think that's Vinny Trocheck he's trying to antagonize. You can do something too, Marchand. Wilson here now getting escorted away by the referee here, and the referee's talking with him. Please tell me you called a penalty on him. Another look here a moment ago. That was Jake Gensel, actually, who got that deflection. It went off of the shaft of his stick. Gensel's holding his stick like this, and it goes off the shaft of his stick in both posts, but not in. So that's going to do it now for the second period. I do not believe that any penalties came from that skirmish there at the end. So we head to the second intermission. And quite frankly, Team USA, they need to go back to the drawing board and figure out anything to generate anything offensively. Because that was through and through a dominating period for Team Canada. And like I said a moment ago, the U.S., they should feel very grateful that this game is only tied, because Canada, had it not been for Connor Hellebuck between the pipes, they could have had 3 or 4 goals that period. So feel grateful to survive. Now you got to come out in the third period and you got to show some fight and determination and offensive prowess that you have not shown yet this tournament for the United States. So we're going to take another break here for the second intermission. That was an exhausting period. Probably the most nerve-wracking third period of play that you will ever watch in a hockey game. That's around the corner here. During the second intermission, if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so that you never miss a thing here on the channel. Again, like, share, leave a comment. First 40 in the books, the last 20 coming up here after this short break. Stay where you are here on the Steel City Sports Report. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Steel City Sports Report, and this may be the most nerve-wracking period of hockey that I have ever watched here on this channel. 40 minutes in the books, and you see the score right there on your screen. Tied up 1-1, Canada, United States in the gold medal game of the 2026 Olympics. First period of play, pretty back and forth. The U.S. able to take a 1-0 lead off a phenomenal goal with Brock Faber. And in the second period, it from start to finish, all Canada. They were in the U.S. zone the entire period. They had a handful of power play opportunities as well. They, at one point, had a 5-on-3 power play with their outstanding top unit for a minute and a half. The U.S. able to survive most of the period, and then the dam finally breaking with Cale Makar getting the tying goal with around 5 minutes left to go in the frame. So right now we are waiting here for the third period to start up. The U.S. needing to figure out a lot here in the intermission. Just need to get more shots on Jordan Binnington. Binnington feel like he's been way out on top of his crease, scrambling every time a rebound goes awry here. So the U.S. they need to find a way to get sticks on puck more in front of the net, even if they have some time, being a little bit patient and stuffing one in on Binnington when he is well out of position. And the U.S. Defense, they need to keep doing what they're doing. They've been able to stifle most of the offensive attack of Canada up to this point. And Connor Hellebuck, please keep being Connor Hellebuck between the pipes. He probably one of the only reasons why this game is tied up at 1 right now, instead of it being like 3-1, 4-1 Canada, something like that, the way that second period went. Back here to the comment section before we drop the puck here in period number 3. You will see me looking at this TV like this, just commentating like this, watching very with much angst. To the comment section here, Thomas. Oh, and I'm Team USA, even though I share the Doughty name. That's all right. There, Thomas. I understand you are definitely a Team USA guy. You share Doughty. Doughty, he's the elder statesman on Team Canada right now, with Sidney Crosby out of the lineup. No Crosby today for Team Canada. For those of you just joining, he was rolled out before the game started. Freight Train joining us late, was sleeping in. Don't blame you there, Freight Train. This is a ridiculously early start time for a gold medal game, if we're being honest. I understand it's over in Italy, but most of the United States and Canada games were played like 4 or 5 o'clock, some even at like 9 o'clock local time in Italy. My thing is, why couldn't we, have a 12 local time, a noon game, which would have been like 4 or 5 o'clock their time, something like that. Why couldn't we have done that? But nope, everybody's got to wake up here bright and early, especially on the west coast of the United States, 5 a.m. local time when the game started over on the west coast. But don't understand why this game couldn't have been started, at least 2 hours. Make it a 10:30 game again, like they had all throughout the preliminary rounds and even through the playoff rounds, something like that. So wish it would have started, at a more normal time. But instead, since 8 o'clock, we've been here, and now we're about to get things going for the third period as the game comes back on here to my right, showing more of the mic'd up session for Brady Tkachuk. He has the mic on today for Team USA. 10 of you in here right now. Before this nerve-wracking period begins, if you are new here, please subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so that you never miss a thing here on the Steel City Sports Report. Again, like, share, leave a comment in the comments section. Kenny Albert, Eddie Olczyk on the call there from Milan, Italy. Cannot listen to what they're saying. I'll have to watch the game back afterwards, see how some of their calls went. But think what they're going to say and what I'm going to say is that the U.S., they just need to show a pulse offensively here, because they were on their heels, backs against the wall, stuck in their defensive zone throughout the entire second period. Now a chance here. New period. Let's get some momentum back in our favor and take things from there. Appreciate all of you joining me here on this Sunday morning. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 20 more minutes in regulation in the battle for gold. And here we go. McDavid, Eichel on the draw here to begin the third period. They lean in now, and we're underway. Face-off won by Eichel, immediately dumped into the Canada zone by McAvoy. Parayko back to play it over to Harley. Harley up the boards here. Celebrini looking for maybe a cross-ice pass. Now he'll bring it into the U.S. zone. Celebrini up high. McDavid trying to make a move around Brady Tkachuk, but loses the handle. Now puck comes loose in the high slot. Tom Wilson after it there. His shot attempt on net goes wide. Harley back down low to Celebrini. Chipped up the boards, or at least trying to, is Eichel. Quinn Hughes all over Connor McDavid. McDavid out of the corner. Backhander to the front of the net. Save made by Hellebuck. Now a chance again for McDavid. He tried to bank it in off the back of the helmet of Hellebuck, and Hellebuck somehow kept it out. Brady Tkachuk now will dump it the length of the ice here, and it's going to be icing on the U.S. Tons of icings in this game for the United States. Hasn't hurt them yet in terms of Canada scoring off of an icing, but I don't want to take many more chances giving the Canadians free offensive zone faceoffs here. Shots dominating Canada is right now 27-16 in the shot department. Face-off to the left of Hellebuck, won by Larkin. Set up the boards again here by the U.S. And again, this is going to be another icing for the United States here. That flicked out well past the center again. And another face-off in the offensive zone for Canada. Look at the celebrities in the crowd. Most of them for the U.S. Seen a member or two of the 1980 USA Olympic hockey team in attendance in Italy. Shot from the point there. Tips off of a stick and goes over the net. Behind the net and now up the boards. Quinn Hughes loses it. Taves up high. Over to Kel McCarr, the goal scorer for Canada. Now Taves, another shot. That one tipped on the way by, and I think Hellebuck got the knob of his stick on it. Now back. Mitch Marner cycling up high. Marner, high slot, moving down. Marner, pass, and oh my goodness! Devon Taves just had the puck wide open in the goal crease, and he put it through the other side. He had a wide open net, and I think he put it through the blue paint and back out the other side. Canada just had the go-ahead goal served on a silver platter, and they don't capitalize. Another look, Marner throws it for Taves, and oh my goodness, no, Hellebuck reached back with the paddle. That is the biggest save of the game, ladies and gentlemen. I thought Taves put it back through. Connor Hellebuck, Taves behind him, reaches back with his goal stick and gets the paddle on it. A 99% chance of scoring a goal there for Devon Taves, and Hellebuck, the 1%, keeps it out. But more attack here for Canada. But the puck was sent out of the U.S. zone. It got chopped up into the U.S. bench and out of play. 18:06 left to go in the third. Canada, through the first near 2 minutes in the third period here, picking up where they left off in the second. Again, Taves just needed to tap it into the wide open net, and Hellebuck reached back, desperation with the stick, and kept it out. Canada again with the puck in the U.S. zone. Now the U.S. maybe a chance to break out here. Matthew Tkachuk up ice over the blue line. Drop now. Jack Hughes trying to power his way to the net. Brad Marchand all over him. Now rubbed off the puck is Jack Hughes. He has no help picking up the puck. Canada gets the clear. Back down to U.S. ice. No icing. Werenski picks it up for the Americans. Werenski pass over. Tage Thompson. Now floating one towards the net. Save made by Binnington. That was a bit of a change-up of Binnington able to stick with it. Seth Jarvis the other way for Canada. Sanderson all over him. Now Bo Horvat gets it up high. Parayko over. Pass was a little behind Thomas Harley. He would have had a nice shot opportunity. Instead, it's taken out of the zone by Boldy. Now Harley has it again. Jarvis chipping it along. Brandon Hagel after it. Throws it across the zone here, intended for Horvat. Now Horvat back to Hagel down low. Hagel up high. One-time shot from Harley. Tipped on the way and wide by Jarvis. Hard hit against the boards. Hannafin slams his, I wouldn't say teammate. I know Hannafin, a former Carolina Hurricane, but don't think he played with Jarvis. This is going to be icing here on the U.S. Again, their third icing already. And we are not even 2.5 minutes, or a little over 3 minutes here into the period. Another look here a moment ago at the U.S. chance on goal. Jake Gensel, I think he was trying to give a sauce pass feed towards the slot there, and it went off of a defenseman and then hit Binnington. Dump in here by JT Miller, picked up by Devon Taves. Over to Cale Makar. Now here comes Canada up ice with that McKinnon-McDavid Celebrini line. Over. McKinnon. Shot. Save made by Hellebuck. Rebound popped up into the air, but it was knocked away by the U.S. JT Miller, not much speed, chips it into the Canadian zone again. Puck trying to be played up the wall by Makar, kept in. Oh, but now it gets off of Hughes' stick and out to center. Pass here. Miller gives it to Quinn Hughes. He's 1-on-2 right now. Hughes trying to buy some time for some help. Hughes spins one back in front, intended for maybe Vincent Trocheck, but now the U.S. turns it over again. McAvoy, a blast blocked by Celebrini, and oh no, Macklin Celebrini on a breakaway in. Save made by Connor Hellebuck. Again, bailing out USA. Connor Hellebuck. Second time today, he's come up with a phenomenal breakaway save on a star player for Canada. First McDavid, now Celebrini. Back to the action. Battle for the puck out at center here between the U.S. and Canada. Larkin after it in the Canadian zone. Slaps it behind the net, but again, no pressure on the forecheck for the U.S. Turned over. Up ice comes, I believe that's Colton Parayko. His shot short side knocked away by Hellebuck. Top of the circle, Marner over to Harley. One-time drive from Parayko. Had a lot of mustard on it, but it was well wide. Over Parayko, again a one-timer right into the wickets of Hellebuck, and he'll seal it up for the face-off. Oh, man, oh, man. If the U.S., against all odds, is able to come back from all of this adversity and win this hockey game, first star of the game surely will be number 37 between the pipes. Face off to the right of Hellebuck. We are now 5 minutes into the period. Won by Canada. Jarvis sends it back down deep behind the U.S. net. Picked up there by McAvoy. McAvoy again just scoops it out to center here. It'll be played by Thomas Harley back in front of Binnington. He tries to skate away from Brock Nelson. Now Harley gets it over to Drew Doughty. Up the boards, chipped in there by Hagel. Behind his own net, Sanderson skates it out for the U.S. Sanderson. Matthew Tkachuk chasing after it back in the Canada zone. Picked up there by the Canadians and sent out. Again, Jarvis with the tip, but the U.S., now they turn it over. Oh no, short-sided stuff attempt for Hagel. The U.S. behind their own net. Maybe a miscommunication. It was a turnover to Hagel. And now the U.S. back the other way maybe. But again, Canada clogging up the neutral zone. Quinn Hughes with it now. Hughes to Brady Tkachuk. Cross ice here. Chipped along by Jack Eichel, skating after it in the corner. Eichel. Nice move. Gets away from Makar. Looking for, I think that's Brady Tkachuk near the hash marks. He got a shot off. I think it might have hit Binnington. But now Makar trying to get it out again. Kept in by Eichel once more. Eichel down the boards, trying to fling one towards the front of the net from a sharp angle. Hit a skate, didn't make it on goal. Tom Wilson trying to chip it into the U.S. zone. Dylan Larkin to Brock Faber. Faber trying to get it out. Kept in by Wilson again. Got to get out. Now McKinnon spins away. Buys himself time. Over. Shot. Blocked there by Slavin. Another shot. Hit another body and out of play. The U.S. right now just struggling. Trying to survive. And a chance to get the puck out of the zone. Doesn't get there. Doesn't get out. And it's still tied at 1. And there is one man that deserves all the credit. And it's Connor Hellebuck. They're taking another break right now, I believe. No commercials during play here on NBC. I finally saw that post during the second intermission, so there won't be any commercial breaks during period play in this hockey game. Gotta find something in the tank here if you're the United States. Can they just get one shot at offensive zone pressure like what Canada has had them in this entire time? Canada doing a good job of preventing clean breakouts for the United States, clogging up the neutral zone. They feel in control right now, and I don't blame them because that's exactly what's happening. Jack Eichel, Brady Tkachuk, Dylan Larkin looking at the tablet on the bench, trying to figure out what they can do better to get a scoring opportunity here. One thing that I would like to see more of if you're the U.S., and it's actually less of something. I get that Mike Sullivan loves putting out his fourth line of Brock Nelson, JT Miller, and Vinny Trocheck on defensive zone faceoffs, but I'm hoping they're starting to realize that that line in particular has absolutely zero chance of generating anything worth a lick offensively. Miller has looked slow. Trocheck has been, not as good on faceoff draws today, and Brock Nelson has lost some of his power that he had in that first game of the preliminary round against Latvia. The U.S. does win this defensive zone draw. Charlie McAvoy cross-ice pass. Dumped behind the net here by Jake Gensel. Boldy down the wall, trying to keep things deep, but now it's Nate McKinnon who gets it to Mark Stone. Pass over to Cale Makar. Canada with possession again. Taves tipped in by Marner. Now McAvoy back to play it. Shields the puck from Marner, and he'll skate it up to center ice here. McAvoy now back over. Dumped down deep by Boldy. Gensel plays it behind the net. Pinned up against the boards with Sanheim. Boldy now needs to race Tom Wilson for it, but he'll get it to his Canadian teammates. Dumped in here, redlining in by Sanheim. Sanderson trying to shield the puck away from Sam Bennett. Now Brad Marchand in there. Tie up again. The U.S. thankfully keeps possession. Jack Hughes spins it back to Jake Sanderson. Sanderson over. Now pass up. Here comes Brock Nelson into the U.S. zone. Nelson chips it along for Jack Hughes. Hughes behind the net, waiting for something to open up. Might have tried a backhand off of the body of Binnington, but did not work. Now Hughes dancing at his blue line, and now he'll lose it. Brandon Hagel sprints back the other way. Hagel trying to toe drag and shoot, but great stick by Brock Faber. Now Brock Nelson able to backhand it out to center. Thomas Harley plays it there for Canada. He plays catch with, I think, his D partner Parayko. Parayko heads off on a change. McDavid back into the Canada zone. Hagel out there, end of the shift with McDavid and Celebrini. Hagel up high, intended for Makar, but Makar wasn't ready for it, and it goes all the way back down to Canada zone. Free change there for the U.S. Now puck to Celebrini. Here's McKinnon with it, fresh on the ice. Drop for McDavid. Finds a late trailer, Celebrini, but the stick was in there. Oh, my God! Oh, my God! Celebrini sent it to the far side after he couldn't get the shot away, and Nate McKinnon had a wide open net, and he put it off the side of the cage. Quinn Hughes back in Canada territory now. Circles behind the net, up high. Hughes to Eichel. Eichel in front. Trocheck. Save made by Binnington. Puck is loose there. And Werenski now up high. Hughes. Slap shot from the blue line. Hit a stick and goes wide. Larkin in the corner. Celebrini knocked to the ice by Thompson. Up the boards and out for Canada. 2 grade A chances, 1 for each team. McKinnon puts it off of the side of a wide open net. And then Vinny Trocheck in front had Binnington swimming in his crease. Couldn't find Twine. Back into the U.S. zone. Sam Reinhart. Down low for Bo Horvat. Seth Jarvis there as well. Cycle to back up high to Sanheim, the defenseman. Now Reinhart, top of the circle. Looking maybe back to his D-man again. Now he's pinned against the wall by Faber. Now Werenski with it. He'll airmail it out to center. JT Miller couldn't glove it down. Sanheim with it. Over to Doughty. Doughty up. Horvat back to Sanheim. Puck top off of his stick. But Seth Jarvis couldn't get it deep. Now Jack Hughes loses the handle on it. Hughes back to Slavin now on the ice. Now here is Sanderson. I think it's tipped in on goal here. Stopped by Binnington. Binnington trying to backhand it out to center. He does. Slavin over the blue line. Wrapped around behind. Binnington couldn't stop it. Boldy to Jack Hughes. Down deep. Puck comes up high. Slavin. Shot attempt from the blue line. Might have been saved by Binnington. If not, it hit Austin Matthews. Back the other way. Canada trying to get it on a 2-on-1 here, but Slavin back checking. Suzuki up high. Stone. Pass over for Parayko wide of the mark. Matthews with a man all over him. Oh no. Please not too many men. Okay. I think the United States just got very lucky with a too many men penalty. Back in. Brad Marchand. Circles behind the net. Marchand shot. Save made by Hellebuck. Rebound there. Is it kept out? Still loose. Another shot attempt. Saved by Hellebuck, and it's cleared by the U.S. Oh my God. Playing with fire, the United States. They survive again. Backhanded into the Canada zone. It goes all the way back out to center. Hannafin dumps it in once more. Binnington behind his own net. Crowd is incensed in Milan. 7:50 left to go in the hockey game. Now Bennett finds McKinnon streaking. Shot went wide. Now McKinnon with it again. Comes out of the corner. Up high, Sanheim. One-time drive. Save made by Hellebuck. Swinging in his crease, and it is in the glove of Hellebuck. Oh my God. Jeez. A golden chance after golden chance for Canada. The McKinnon shot that went off the side of the net. The wide open chance for Tage Thompson that had Binnington scrambling. Charlie McAvoy a moment ago made a goal line save for Canada. And then Hellebuck slid back into position and made the stop again before Canada got the clear. And then back here to the near penalty for the United States. Someone was heading off for the United States as Austin Matthews sent a pass to that person. And then I think Matthew Tkachuk jumped on the ice for Jack Hughes. And then Tkachuk just jumping back off the ice before Hughes touched the puck again. Nearly too many men for the United States. And if they were to take any penalty at all right now, it would be a huge blow to their chances of winning this hockey game. You cannot put Canada back on the power play this late in the contest. I don't care how good the Team USA PK has been in this tournament. Cannot put that unit on the ice tied up here. Canada wins the offensive zone draw. Sanheim behind the net. Larkin plays it up the boards to Brady Tkachuk. Linesman gets in the way. Get the hell out of the way. Quinn Hughes with it back in his own zone. Over to McAvoy. McAvoy cross-ice pass. Brady Tkachuk. Shot in on goal from center. Stopped by Binnington. Eichel in the corner. Loses that puck battle. Now McKinnon. Stripped of the puck by Quinn Hughes. Now here's McAvoy with it. Down low, Jack Hughes. Hughes trying to power his way to the net. Save made. Standing tall was Binnington. Hughes again. Now possession taken away by Canada. Celebrini. Pass. Here's McKinnon with speed. Down the right side. Spinorama. Backhander. Pad save made by Hellebuck. And now in the corner here. And is the U.S. going to get a power play here? They are. Jack Hughes is down in the corner. He got high sticked. Back the other way here. Extra attacker coming on for the U.S., though it might stay 5-on-5. Canada touches it up now. And Sam Bennett. Oh, my God. Talk. Sam Bennett. Jack Hughes, is he bleeding? That's the question. Bennett goes to the box for high sticking the U.S. A crucial late power play for them coming up. And it is a 4-minute double minor. Jack Hughes, high sticked in the corner by Sam Bennett. It catches Hughes. It did not look good. Up, maybe in the chin, might have grazed the eye a little bit, but Hughes just crumples in the corner. Bennett, I think he was losing his footing, and as he was going into the boards, his stick comes up and whacks Hughes in the face. Hughes draws blood, and it's going to be a 4-minute power play for the United States. I could be wrong, but this right here, if the U.S. does not convert at least once on this 4-minute minor, that may be the game for them. Face-off won by Canada. They immediately get the clear. The U.S. needs to convert, or else I'm going to say they lose this hockey game. Drop here for Matthews. Now Jack Eichel. What are we doing? Eichel, as soon as he gets over the blue line, he drops it to nobody. And Canada gets it back out to center. The U.S. trying to regroup now and take the puck back in. Bo Horvat, the forechecker here for Canada. Drop here for Austin Matthews. Matthews right up the gut. Over here, it's Tkachuk. That's Matthew Tkachuk. Now Thompson down low for Austin Matthews. Puck was a little bit too hot for him. Settled down by Thompson. Matthews again. Man all over him. Spinning away from pressure. Matthews now to Tkachuk. Up high. Barely kept in at the line by Quinn Hughes. Matthews in the corner. With time. Looking for something to open up. Quinn Hughes over. Eichel, one-timer, pad save by Binnington. Puck's loose in the blue paint, and it's cleared away. In the corner. Canada trying to get the clear. Matthew Tkachuk, he now loses it. Mitch Marner is going to take it out to center and kill time. Now he sends it back to his defense. In Canada, looks like they're going to kill the first half of this double minor. Pass over for Mark Stone. He has a PK goal in this tournament. And now the U.S. finally takes possession again. Jack Hughes, who drew the penalty, back out there. Parayko winds it up the boards, kept in by Werenski. Over to Gensel. 2:15 left to go on the power play. Now up high. Boldy, back to Werenski. They play catch again. Werenski over. This is Hughes. Stepping down the wall. Gensel in the slot shot. Blocked. To the corner again. Jack Hughes. Soft over to Werenski. Moving down. Drive by Hughes. Hit a body in front. Nobody knows where the puck is. It's behind the net. Boldy now has it. 1:45 left to go on the man advantage. Boldy in the corner. Loses it. Hagel a clearing attempt. And it just gets out. Werenski tried to glove it down. And it squirted past him. Jack Hughes back in. He loses possession with it. Crashes into a few bodies. And it's cleared to center again by Canada. Werenski brings it up to Boldy on the half wall. Boldy Down low, Gensel lets it go all the way. Hughes, it jumps over his stick. And now Hughes, he just tripped up Horvat, and the U.S. is going to go shorthanded. Yay. Makar, touch the puck, please. Marner's going to take it back. He's going to try to kill off the rest of the penalty here by Canada. And the U.S. is going to go shorthanded here late in this hockey game. The U.S. finally is going to touch it here with 3:23 left to go. It's going to be maybe 49 seconds of 4-on-4, and then Canada's going to go to the power play. Hughes, puck hops over his stick, and it's a high sticking, not a trip on Horvat. Hughes going for a stick lift on Horvat. Horvat hits the ice. I don't think there was any blood on Horvat, so it's going to be a 2-minute power play for Canada. If it was a 4-minute, then they would be on the power play after this 4-on-4 for the rest of the hockey game. Things now looking very bleak for the United States. It is a 2-minute minor for high sticking for Jack Hughes. 3:23 left to play in the third. It'll be 4-on-4 for 49 seconds, and then Canada will have 1:11 on the power play. The U.S. sends out Matthews for this defensive zone draw against Suzuki. Won by Matthews to Quinn Hughes. Now the United States here. Maybe they can get one rush up ice offensively, and then they'll have to go into defense mode. Eichel trying to dance his way around Marner. Now he's over the blue line. Eichel stick handling through traffic. Shot just wide of Binnington. Now Quinn Hughes will take it back out to center here. 25 seconds left, 4-on-4. McAvoy. A drop. Why are we dropping at the blue line? McDavid the other way. Puts on the brakes. Now sends it here. Celebrini in. Shot just wide of Hellebuck. Kept in at the far blue line by McKinnon. And it's going to be cleared now. Softly down to Canada ice by Eichel. And now Canada to the power play. Bennett is out of the box. A power play for the next minute by Canada with 2:20 left to go. McKinnon steps down the wall. Waiting behind the net. McKinnon. Down low. Believe that's Reinhart. McKinnon out with it. Pass over. Celebrini is shot. I think Hellebuck got a shoulder on it. And now Nelson can't clear it. Kept in by Makar. Makar now stepping down. McKinnon in one-timer over. Sticks in the lane by the U.S. McDavid to Makar. 30 seconds left on the man advantage. McDavid back to Makar. McKinnon now. Shot. Pad save made it again on the rebound by Hellebuck. The U.S. again can't clear it. Kept in. Now Slavin. Oh my God. They kept it in again. Makar. McKinnon. On the half wall. McKinnon circles out. Celebrini in the slot. His shot went wide. And finally a diving clear attempt by the U.S. And they kill it off. 5-on-5 for another minute 15 here in the third period. Tied at 1. It's going to be Parayko who brings it up for Canada. Chipped into the zone, but not deep, and sent back out to center by the U.S. Harley to Parayko. Now it's Suzuki. Dumped around. McAvoy. Up the boards and out. And this is not going to be icing. Does not have enough mustard on it. Harley. Quickly up here. It's Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner had the OT winner for Canada in the quarterfinals against Czechia, but he's rubbed off the wall. Against the wall. Werenski to Boldy. Puck chipped back out to center again. U.S. can't dump it in deep. 30 seconds now left. Taves behind his own net to Doughty. Up here at the red line. Played by Stone to Taves. Taves now. Cycles it back up high. There's Tom Wilson, his shot blocked by Austin Matthews, and Matthews is going to clear it back out to center. 15 seconds left. Doughty needs to wait for his guys to get on sides. That's offsides on Marchand. Marchand a little ahead of the play there, but they don't call it. It's cleared the length of the ice here. It's going to be waved off, no icing. And ladies and gentlemen, in the gold medal game, just like the women's game earlier this week between Canada and U.S. for the gold medal, we are going to a 20-minute 3-on-3 overtime. And I'm sweating bullets. I am sweating bullets here. Look, that's not just the morning coffee talking here. I got it right here off screen to the right. Oh my God. I don't think, okay, the NHL does have it popped up here. Canada ended regulation with 41 shots on goal to the Americans' 20. And the U.S. needs to thank the good Lord up above that Connor Hellebuck was born an American citizen, because this game is going to 3-on-3 overtime solely because of him. Canada, for the last 40 minutes of play, has been in sole control of this game. The U.S., they had an opportunity to maybe get a go-ahead goal or at least shift momentum back in their favor on that power play. They then need to go into survive mode again against the Canadian power play. And now we're heading to a 3-on-3 20-minute overtime. The U.S. Canada gold medal game in the women's division was decided that way. Megan Keller scoring the game winner for the United States. Who's going to be the hero in this game? We wait and find out. 8 of you in here right now joining this live stream. We'll be back here in one moment. Please subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so that you don't miss a thing. I believe they're going for a full ice cleaning right now for this overtime period. We'll be back for overtime here in a minute. Stay where you are. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. In case your heart hasn't been pumping enough and your whole body hasn't been shaking with nerves already, we got 3-on-3 overtime for 20 minutes coming up here. Sudden death, winner takes all with the next goal. The next goal being a golden goal, just like the women's ice hockey game, gold medal game between Canada and the United States earlier this week. You have the US and Canada men's teams going to overtime for gold as well. And this is going to be quite the fitting end to this hockey game between these two teams, two of the top teams in the world going against one another. And unlike in 2010, when Canada beat the United States in overtime to win gold in Vancouver, you have this time around it being 3-on-3. So lots of open ice. Going to be honest, Canada dominating the back half of this game, really the last two periods as a whole. I would be lying if I said that I am not overly worried about. I would be lying if I said I am not overly worried about them having tons of ice and room here, 3-on-3. Kel McCarr, those guys, they absolutely thrive on creating an open space, and I am worried. And the U.S., I mean, haven't showed too much fight. They had one power play opportunity, a double power play opportunity on a double minor high sticking there near the end of the third period. But other than that, lifeless offensively. Can they just have one moment, one opportunity, one guy that is able to pot the game-winning goal here in this one and grab the gold medal for the United States for the first time since 1980? We now await and see. There's a look at Connor Hellebuyck. Hellebuyck today, 40 saves on 41 shots for the Winnipeg Jets, Vezina winning goaltender. He has been outstanding, and if the U.S. were to somehow overcome all odds and win this hockey game, he would by far be the number one star. One more comment here before overtime start. It's Flacco joining in here, regular viewer here on the channel. Appreciate you, Flacco. Appreciate all 12 of you in here joining in. And we begin the most nerve-wracking overtime that any of these players will ever play in their lives. And it goes down right now. McDavid, Makar, two of the Canadians starting for Team Canada. Looks like McKinnon is going to take the draw here against Austin Matthews. Not sure who else is out there. Looks like Quinn Hughes is the defenseman. Not sure who the other forward is out there with Matthews right now. Now we see it is Matt Boldy. Boldy, Matthews, and Quinn Hughes against McDavid, McKinnon, and Makar to start this 3-on-3 20-minute overtime. And we got a false start here off of this opening draw. McDavid and Boldy jousting before the puck is dropped here. And now we're going to have whistles here, and the officials are going to come together here, trying to stop them from getting too quick off the hop. They're antsy, just like us. Face-off is dropped, and we are underway, ladies and gentlemen. Connor McDavid just stick lift Matt Boldy to give Canada first possession. That's like receiving the ball in football here. Here's McDavid up the middle. McDavid fanned on the wrist shot. Was trying to power his way up the middle. He fanned on it. Now Boldy the other way. Quick up here. It's Quinn Hughes. Hughes. Drop. Boldy. Back for Hughes. Shot. Glove save made. Oh my goodness. Jordan Binnington. The other way. Speeds McKinnon once more. He's all alone, but he's now in. McKinnon shot. Save made. And it's whistled by Hellebuyck for the whistle. Holy hell. That close to ending it already came the U.S. Beautiful give and go with Boldy and Quinn Hughes, and Binnington. Strong push from right to left. Gets a glove on it. That much action. And only 36 seconds have expired in this 20-minute overtime period. Defensive zone face-off for the U.S. Trocheck on the draw. It's won by Horvat. Can we not put out Trocheck anymore? He hasn't won a freaking face-off all day. Taken out the center here by Celebrini. He'll send it back here, and up comes Marner. He'll drop it. Celebrini with room. Watch out. They scored an OT winner like this. It's to Von Taves now. To Celebrini. With space. Celebrini. Shot. Blocked by McAvoy. And now a quick up for Charlie McAvoy. He loses the handle on it, and it's turned over to Marner. Again, possession issues for the United States. Celebrini drop for Makar, who's fresh on the ice. Celebrini now puts on the brakes. Watch for someone coming off the bench. That's McDavid back on the ice now. McDavid, he gains speed. Here he comes. Connor McDavid trying to power his way on net, and it's poked away by Hellebuck. To Werenski now. Werenski to Jack Hughes. He chips it past him. Here we go. Maybe a chance here for the U.S. Werenski. Now, pass Hutzlaw. Here's the shot. It's gone! It's gone! Jack Hughes! Jack Hughes! The U.S. has won the gold medal! Jack Hughes! From a miracle to the masters of the hockey world! The U.S. has won gold for the first time since 1980. Oh my God. Thank you. Oh my God. Oh my God. Holy hell. Oh my God. Jack Hughes. It is the Hughes brothers that play hero again in these Olympic Games. Quinn, the GWG, to move on against Sweden. And now it is Jack, who just won the gold medal for the United States. Oh my God. Oh. I might have a heart attack. Not really, but oh my God. The celebration is on for the United States. Of course, as I was losing my mind, every single member of Team USA's roster flying onto the ice. Sticks, gloves, helmets go flying. And the United States of America, like I just said, from a miracle in 1980 to now once again the masters of the hockey world. They have won their first gold medal since 1980. And also, I want to point up that way, just like I'm sure these guys will as well. That one was for Johnny. Johnny Gaudreau, Johnny Hockey. Tragic passing of him and his brother about a year or two ago. Johnny certainly would have been on this U.S. team and was connected with so many of the players on this U.S. team, especially guys like Matthew Tkachuk, Zach Werenski, even guys on the other side, Sam Bennett, those types of guys. That one was for Johnny Hockey. And the U.S. now celebrating with the various staff members on the bench. Another look here at Jack Hughes' goal. Didn't see it go in. He beats Binnington under the glove side. And it is the United States. They go crashing and hurling themselves into the timekeeper area. And off of a 3-on-1. Actually, now we get a look at the other angle. Hughes goes 5-hole on Binnington. Have not seen this team go 5-hole at all yet today. Binnington, throughout the day, he had the 5-hole open. The U.S. did not find it until they needed it most. And Jack Hughes, which, by the way, I can't imagine a better week for a family than what the Hugheses just had. Quinn, Wednesday, OT winner versus Sweden to send the U.S. to the semifinals. Then their mother, who was an assistant on the U.S. women's hockey team, she wins gold Thursday. The U.S. now on Sunday They win gold off of an OT winner for Jack Hughes. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is right there. I so wish I could turn the camera to the screen right now. The United States carrying around the ice, and it is two former teammates of Johnny Gaudreau, Matthew Tkachuk and Zach Werenski. They right now, American flags in hand, carrying a Johnny Gaudreau jersey around the ice in Milan. It is beautiful. Gaudreau's family also there. Just showed Guy Gaudreau, Johnny's father. Johnny's family. It was his son, Johnny Edwards' birthday today. Can't imagine a better birthday present for Johnny Edwards. Team USA gets a gold medal for his very much loved father. The U.S. continues the celebration. Austin Matthews. And there's the star of the game right there. Connor Hellebuck, one of the various United States players with a United States flag around his back. And Hellebuck, he, with the most credit for the United States winning this hockey game. I want to see what the final total was. Here, let me see here on NHL.com. It was, let's see, they're not showing it here. I want to say 42 to 43 saves for Connor Hellebuck in this game here today, only allowing one goal behind him. He is definitely the one that has earned this gold medal the most here today. More celebrations on the ice. Dylan Larkin and Jack Eichel embrace. Dylan Larkin, he was a key contributor to this team throughout the tournament. There's a look at Jack Hughes. Definitely Jack Hughes going to need some dental work when he gets back to the United States. See, he is missing a good bit of teeth from that high stick from Sam Bennett earlier in the game, but it does not matter. I'm sure he would 10 times over lose all the teeth in his mouth if it means scoring that goal once more. To the comments section, you guys flipping out just like I am as the handshake lines to my right now begin. Freight train at $9.99 contribution. USA gold, baby. SES our dad 20. Goal. USA wins gold. All of you guys flipping out in the comments section. Flacco, very excited. We got Laura Davis in here. Welcome, Laura. USA, USA. What a last half. The U.S., they overcame an absolute onslaught and a half for the second and third periods from Team Canada. And in overtime, thought it wasn't going to look good for the U.S. Very fast and skilled players like McDavid and McKinnon having all sorts of time and space, 3-on-3, but back the other way, it's Jack Hughes who gets it and gets the game winner. We deserved this, says Flacco, wearing my U.S. Vomero 5 Nikes. That's sweet there, Flacco. What a game. What a game. And like I said, 46 years in the making, that gold medal, from the miracle on ice to now masters of the hockey world once again. Team USA, 46 years to the day since they last won a gold medal, and also a win for Johnny Gaudreau, who certainly would have been a member of this team. There's Dylan Larkin and Zach Werenski, I assume, pointing out the Tkachuk or the Gaudreau family in the crowd. The Tkachuk brothers and the Hughes brothers, they're together. They're hugging one another, the two pairs of brothers. There's a look, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like Sidney Crosby in uniform is going to come out here to get a silver medal for Team Canada. I know it's absolutely eating him alive. Crosby suffering the injury, not being able to play at this game. But as much as I love Sid and we love Sid in here, quite frankly, Team USA, we needed this one a little bit more. And also, Sid, you've already won 2 gold medals. I think you'll be fine just with the 2 in your career. Also, good news for Penguins fans. Crosby not healthy enough to play in this gold medal game, but good news is with his injury, apparently he will be good to go, or won't miss a tremendous amount of time when he gets back to the Penguins. Now 87, losing the gold medal here. He's going to be pissed off for greatness when he gets back playing for that team you just saw on the ticker here to my right in the NHL Metro standings. So Sid getting back healthy to Pittsburgh, that's one of my main careabouts for this game. Holy hell. They're interviewing Jack Hughes right now, as I'm sure they are beginning to get everything set up for the medal ceremony. We'll be live here throughout the medal ceremony. That is one thing for sure. Finland will receive bronze. They took down Slovakia 6-2 yesterday. Still interviewing Jack Hughes. A little bit rough on the pronunciation of some words right now, Jack Hughes, understandably with the condition his mouth is in. Zach Werenski, he cannot be forgotten in this scenario. Werenski with the big assist was in a foot race with Devon Taves for the puck, was able to shoulder Taves away from it and get the puck to Jack Hughes. And then the rest is history. Hughes 5-hole on Binnington. They're showing the various reactions from around the United States right now, all the watch parties around the U.S. And this is going to be one soon not forgotten. That is for sure. More comments in here. Yes, USA, 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 Crosby, already good. That's what I'm saying, Flacco. Sid is already going to get a first ballot Hall of Fame. You know, I think he'll be able to look back and survive having one silver medal in his case next to his 3 gold. But like I said, hoping Sid is pissed off for greatness now, and he'll now get back to the team we truly care about, the Penguins, and go on a tear with them, continuing their hot start from the first half of the season. The gold medal ceremony now coming up here. The carpet's getting rolled out. There's Jack Hughes, very deserving. One of those, a U.S. flag around his shoulders. There's his brother Quinn. Again, can't imagine a more better week for a family than what the Hugheses just did. Each of them an overtime game winner in the winner go home stages of the Olympics. Quinn in the quarterfinals, Jack in the gold medal game. Hellebuck now getting some more taps from his teams. Another look here, and they are showing all the highlights right now. Connor Hellebuck, give him 2 gold medals because he made 10 bell save after 10 bell save in this hockey game. Stifled McDavid on a breakaway. Stifled Macklin Celebrini, who had like 10 or 11 points in this tournament on a breakaway. Got the paddle back on Devon Taves for a wide open chance. Just an unreal performance. I don't care what Connor Hellebuck does the rest of the season in the NHL. I say give him the Vezina Trophy once again for that performance. Because my God, what a legendary performance for Hellebuck. Talk about going from one legendary goaltender performance in Jim Craig in the last gold medal game to now Hellebuck having a similar clutch performance. What an unbelievable game. What an unbelievable Olympics. I think the first year back in the Olympics for NHL players certainly lived up to the billing in it, and it delivered on all fronts. That is definitely the case. Oh my goodness. There's the other goal scorer from this game for the United States, Matt Boldy, with the game opening goal. more pictures online right now going of Connor Hellebuck's save. The Olympic All-Star team. Hellebuck certainly the goaltender for it. Unbelievable. An unbelievable game. And not to be lost in this, I'm seeing this now here. Congratulations, JT Miller, Vinny Trocheck. Was a little bit critical of each of them in this game, but hey, got to do what you got to do in the gold medal. Two Pittsburghers, Miller and Trocheck, who are now gold medalists. Unreal. Still waiting for the medal ceremony to begin here. There's the Pittsburgh Penguins post I'm seeing here. Sidney Crosby, a 3-time Olympic medalist. Now a silver to go with his 2 gold. And the pictures everywhere going around the internet right now of Johnny Gaudreau's jersey getting skated around the ice, I'm sure. A very sad but yet triumphant moment for the Gaudreau family. Can't get over that sight right now. Still fresh in my mind. And if I were, the Olympic Committee, I know they probably have only the set amount of gold medals for the players. If I'm someone on Team USA, I am holding up that Gaudreau jersey again, or maybe like putting it on the dasher of the bench and I'm putting a gold medal on it. That's for sure. Unreal. Looks like the United States and Canada, they are set up here to receive their medals. I think we're still waiting. The hold up right now, it looks like it's Finland who is taking a good bit to get on the ice here. Flacco, man was alive for both the 1980 Olympics and this. To me, this was better than the Miracle on Ice. I think it was, maybe better in that we got to see all-world talent on both sides, but don't take away from the Miracle on Ice. That was just a group of college kids that took down the most dominant team in Olympic history. So I'm not going to take away from the 1980 team, respectively here. There's the I think you would call the elder statesman of the team, Brock Nelson, starting to get a little bit of grays in his hair, having a phenomenal season with the Colorado Avalanche. He kicked off the party for the United States in these Olympics, had 2 goals in the opener against Latvia. And now waiting to see what the hold up here is. Looks like the ceremony is now beginning. The flags of each nation now being marched onto the ice, and here comes the medals as well. I know in the women's game they had with the medals, they also had like these stuffed animal plushy things, whatever like the mascot is for the Olympics. Do the men get those? I wonder. I'll have to wait and see. Looking here, Sidney Crosby, indeed, in full uniform, is out there for Canada. That, to me, is a damn good sign for Crosby and his health when the Penguins resume hockey play here, I believe, on Friday. You got Crosby out there, full gear, so he's able to lace him up and skate around. But I think it was in Crosby's mind, maybe it was he who called things off today. He said that maybe it was him who said, hey, me at like 70% isn't going to be as good as the other guys on this team. So Sid in full gear right there. I definitely do take that as a positive sign. Looking here. Let's see. Don't think Finland's... Are they going to come out here, Finland? I don't see them anywhere on the ice there. They're introducing the International Olympic Committee members who are going to be distributing the gold medals. Now we got this Danka Herbikov. She's going to be distributing the bronze medals, I believe. And it will be IIHF president who will give the gold to the United States, I believe. Gonna watch this gold medal ceremony. Just realizing, no, was so flipping out about the goal. Final score in overtime. USA 2, Canada 1, the gold medal to the United States of America. What an electric and surreal moment here. Unbelievable. Still hugs going on along the benches there. Looks like Finland is not in person to receive their bronze medal. So here we go with the silver medal ceremony here. There's Travis Sanheim getting his. He'll now go back and do battle with Crosby and the Penguins, a member of the Philadelphia Flyers. Devon Taves doesn't look all too happy. I bet he is going to be thinking about that wide open net he had for a while, and Hellebuck reaching his stick back there and knocking it away. Kel McCarr, the most dangerous defenseman in the NHL and this tournament, gets his medal. There's Sam Bennett. I'm sure a bittersweet moment for him as well, but I'd be shocked if at some point today it doesn't cross his mind. Johnny Gaudreau. There's Nick Suzuki filled in for Sidney Crosby when Sid went down, centered the Mark Stone and Mitch Marner line. Sam Reinhart just got his medal right there. I'm a little shocked, I'm not going to lie, that Reinhart, for as good as he is for the Florida Panthers, I'm a little shocked, actually. He did not see as much ice time as I would have thought. Was almost strictly a power play guy. Bo Horvat gets his medal there of the New York Islanders, as does Macklin Celebrini. Celebrini having a phenomenal breakout year with the San Jose Sharks and really put his name amongst the superstars and franchise players in the NHL with his tournament performance. Thomas Harley, Seth Jarvis receiving silver medals there. Shea Theodore. He watched his teammates, I should say, Noah Hannafin and Jack Eichel win gold. Nate McKinnon, Sidney Crosby's best buddy from Cole Harbor, Nova Scotia, gets silver. Sam Montembeault, goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens, did not see any of him in this tournament. Brandon Hagel of the Tampa Bay Lightning, I'm sure he is fiery in the eyes when he looks over and he'll see Matthew Tkachuk get a gold medal. There's a guy I could give two shits about, Tom Wilson, getting silver. Josh Morrissey right there for Canada. Not sure. It does look like Morrissey is in full gear. He got, I think, injured in game one of the preliminary round for Canada and has not played since. Logan Thompson gets silver, and there's Jordan Binnington getting his silver medal. I think Binnington in his performance gets lost a little bit in the Connor Hellebuck spotlight here. I do want to give a good bit of credit to Jordan Binnington. He, when the U.S. had grade A opportunities, as few and far as between as they were, he did come up tall at times. There is Parayko, Stone, Marchand getting silvers, and here's Sidney Crosby. No words. No words. That's the last time I see Crosby in an Olympic hockey game. What a show he put on. Still love my captain. Still very proud of him. Dowdy, Mitch Marner, they get their silvers as well. And then Connor McDavid wraps it up for the United States. Some excellent grade opportunities for McDavid throughout the tournament. And indeed, they are giving out these plushy things here to Team Canada. They're like white ferrets or something like that. White otters. It's hard for me to make out what sort of animal they are here. Bunch of badasses, says Flocka in the comments section. Brad Marchand right now standing next to Sidney Crosby on the verge of tears. That's another question, too. You got 3 guys that have been synonymous with Canadian hockey. Marchand, Crosby, and Doughty. All 3 of those guys standing side by side. That could be very well the last Olympics for all 3 of them. Flocko here. Freight train, you was right. Until the game, nobody was beating Canada except us, says Flocko. Indeed, Hughes brothers don't pay for drinks for the next 4 hours. Neither does Connor Hellebuck. Those 3, they drink on the house, or somebody on the team better pick up their tab. I think Jack Eichel, Austin Matthews, those guys are making a little bit more money than they are. They can pick up the bill. Or better yet, put it on Team USA Hockey's tab. The United States now getting ready to get set up here to receive the gold medals in numbered order right now. Going down the line, there's Team Canada standing out there after receiving the silver. And here we go. Team USA, ladies and gentlemen, about to receive their first gold medals since 1980. From the Olympic on Ice team, we were watching, as I'm sure a bunch of other Americans around the world, watching Miracle. It was on TV last night. It was like watching A Christmas Story before Christmas morning. And now after watching Miracle, here comes the United States, going to receive the gold medal. And the USA chants begin to ring out there in Milan. I'd say the crowd, probably 60% Canadian fans, 40% USA fans. Jeremy Swayman, the first to get a gold medal, played game 2 of the preliminary round against Denmark. Did not have the best game, but I think part of that was because of the board color there in Milan. They had a dark blue color. Jackson Lacombe did not play in these Olympics, receives a gold. There's Brady Tkachuk. I'm sure he was probably the hungriest to get this gold medal. Brady Tkachuk gets it. Zach Werenski, best friend of Johnny Gaudreau, assisting on the gold medal winning goal for Jack Hughes, gets it around his neck. Jack Eichel, probably my favorite non-Pittsburgh Penguins player. I got an old Jack Eichel Buffalo Sabre jersey or 2 in my closet outside this room. Glad to see Jack get gold. JT Miller, Pittsburgh native, gets gold around his neck. There's Matt Boldy, had that phenomenal goal splitting 2 of the best defensemen on the planet, Taves and Makar, for the opening goal. Brock Faber of the Minnesota Wild. He played a solid tournament, even though I don't think he was on the score sheet all that often. Noah Hannafin, Vegas Golden Knights, played some solid minutes as the 7th D-man rotating in. Vinny Trocheck, the other United States or Pittsburgh native. There's Matthew Tkachuk. Gives a point to the sky as he gets that gold around his neck. Dylan Larkin, as for a third line center in these Olympics, Larkin playing unbelievable, scoring a handful of big goals. Charlie McAvoy, gold around his neck, looks up to the skies. Brock Nelson, the old man of the team, played pretty solid as the 4th line penalty killer he was. Jake Ottinger, like Lacombe, did not see any ice time in these Olympics, but talk about going with a 1A, 1B goaltender tandem with him and Hellebuck. Captain America, Austin Matthews. Did he have some bleak times in the tournament? Yes, but he helped lead the way for this U.S. team. And there is what Mr. Hell of a Save himself, Connor Hellebuck, the most deserving person to get the gold. Close behind him, Quinn Hughes. He gets gold. There's his family in the crowd. The OT winner against Sweden for Quinn Hughes. Jake Gensel, former Pittsburgh Penguin. Have a Pens jersey of his outside this room as well. Gets gold around his neck. Probably my dark horse for one of my favorite players in this tournament, Tage Thompson. He gets the gold around his neck. There's Jacob Slavin, probably the best defensive defenseman on roster for the United States. Kyle Connor, Clayton Keller subbed in for him throughout in the opening preliminary round. Jake Sanderson, Ottawa Senator. Good job. And then the OT hero right now getting gold. There is Jack Hughes getting the OT winner. Jack, the gold around his neck, Pop and Mom looking on. And then Clayton Keller will wrap it up with the gold medals for the United States. What a day. So much determination and fight in that U.S. team. Backs against the wall. They were able to overcome that barrage that Canada threw their way. And in the end, they get one shot, one opportunity, and they come out on top and win it 2-1, the final in overtime. And you know that it's extra sweet for the United States looking back to that Four Nations face-off, falling to Canada in that. And now a year later, almost like to the day, I think it was earlier this week or something, that Canada won the Four Nations face-off. And now the U.S. gets gold and these plushies as well. How much you think that stuffed animal is worth? I don't know. It is specially made for the Olympics, but it might be like, I don't know, $25 a pop. I think the Olympic Committee, for as how good the Olympics were as a whole across the board this year, I think they can afford paying for those plushies. SESR dad here real quick. It's amazing how U.S. and Canada for the finals in both men's and women's games both go to overtime, both won by USA 2-1. America back on top of the hockey world, indeed. And there is, again, Johnny Gaudreau getting his jersey held up. I bet you it's going to be held here for the national anthem. As a matter of fact, I will stand up and do so myself. There's Gaudreau, Brady Tkachuk, and Zach Werenski holding the jersey currently. Team picture here now for the United States. Looks like they are going to hold up the Johnny jersey for this picture. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The flags being raised. We're going to stand for the anthem of the U.S. of A. Back on top of the hockey world, from a miracle to the masters of hockey. So gallantly stream. The bombs bursting in air. They prove. Of the brave. There we go. USA on top, baby. Did not hit this. We're going to hit it now. USA gold medalists 2026 in men's ice hockey. Wow. Laura here again. US. Pro 14-14 here. McDavid cost Canada that overtime. Another USA. Unreal. What a game. Way to go, boys. USA back on top of the hockey world. More reactions. The comments section. Flags all around. Do not see the flags on my end here. just see I see the emojis on the other screen here, but just the flags do not pop up for some reason as an emoji on here. There's Flacco's. There it is. The team picture going down right now. Here we go, Team USA taking the picture. Ones to the skies, gold medals all around. A moment in immortality for these guys. Dylan Larkin and Zach Werenski saying, hold on. And here comes the Johnny Gaudreau jersey. The Johnny Gaudreau jersey, I assume they are going to bring into this picture right now. Put it right on the right on that little pedestal right there. Matthew Tkachuk with the Gaudreau jersey right now, waiting for something. Are they going to bring Johnny's family on the ice here? I think they are. Oh, they're bringing one of Johnny's children onto the ice. There we go. Both of Johnny's children are going to be in this picture here. This is what it was all for. More than just the gold medal around your neck. This is what this was for. Both of Johnny Gaudreau's children in the jersey of Gaudreau. We're just gonna end the stream on that one. We're gonna end the stream on that. That is, it's speechless, undescribable. The power of that moment. Johnny Gaudreau, his children, his wife in the crowd, teary-eyed. I'm sure that is the rest of his family. We're gonna wrap things up there. I have nothing else. That's what it was for, all four right there. Johnny Gaudreau, ladies and gentlemen. That's gonna wrap it up here for today on stream. Want to thank you all for joining me throughout the wild ride that was this men's Olympic ice hockey tournament. We were live for every single minute, shot, save of this U.S. run to the gold medal. And it was fun. Ups, downs, all around. And it ended in overtime. And this team will live in infamy forever. Will live and be immortal. Thank you all for joining me. We'll be back here tomorrow evening for another edition of the Steel City Sports Report, talking everything Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates. One last picture over here to the right. The many coaches and training staff members for Team USA come onto the ice. They can now get a picture taken. And there it is. The final picture together for this U.S. Olympic hockey team. Outstanding. It's going to be it here for the channel today. I want to thank you all for joining me throughout this ride, and thank you for joining me here today. Appreciate you all. We'll be back here tomorrow, back to normal Pittsburgh sports news business. And then we'll be watching Team USA again here before not too long. Instead of Olympic ice hockey in baseball, the World Baseball Classic right around the corner. We'll be live streaming Team USA games for that as well. Excited for that to go down. Paul Skeens representing the Pirates in that game. And yeah, it'll be fun then too. So it's going to do it. Thank you all. On your way out, please hit that like, share, and leave a comment after the fact as well. Subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss a thing here on the channel again. Last few comments. Special moment for Johnny Gaudreau. Appreciate you, Flacco. Same to you, Laura. We'll be back here tomorrow. I'm sure we'll talk a whole lot about this game then. Thank you all. Team USA for Johnny Gaudreau. They win their first gold medal since 1980 and are top the hockey world one more time. Thank you all. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Peace.